Chapter 260. Yi Chunfeng didn't dodge at all as he unleashed his 350,000 kilograms of strength. His perfect sword force surged out of his body as the slaughtering halo doubled his attack power. Slaughter 4th style, Eternal Night. He slashed out with his sword, and a sword light that was fused with boundless soul power shot out, stealing away all the brilliance in the surroundings. The frightening sword power tore a sword scar in the air, and bombarded the 8 streams of soul skills in the river. In an instant, all the sound in the world was swallowed up. The terrifying force formed a powerful shockwave and violently exploded. The powerful shockwave cracked the hard deck and caused the huge ship to tremble. PFFF. Facing the Eternal Night sword light head-on, the 2 Class 4 Mystic Beast ancestors from the Han clan's defenses were immediately shattered. They spat out mouthfuls of blood and staggered as they fell to the ground. The white-haired old man and the other 5 didn't have it easy either. They were hit by the powerful shockwave, and the blood in their bodies churned violently, making it difficult for them to breathe. On the other hand, Yi Chunfeng relied on the powerful defense of the blood dragon scales to resist the shockwave and directly charged into the destructive storm. He continued to attack with the Titanic Fault Heavenly Sword. Purple Spiritual Lightning, Green Spiritual Fire, attack. While Yi Chunfeng was attacking with all his might, the Purple Polarity Spiritual Lightning and Green Spectral Spiritual Fire appeared on his body and continuously bombarded the white-haired old man and the others. The fierce attacks completely suppressed the attacks of the white-haired old man and the others. What kind of great power nurtured this genius? Not only does he have the divine ability of an emperor, but he also subdued the mysterious spiritual lightning and spiritual fire of heaven and earth. The white-haired old man and the others became more and more frightened as they fought. They realized that Yi Chunfeng was like a bottomless pit with endless methods and unfathomable strength. Chunfeng, let me deal with the 2 of them. The moon raiment, which had fused with the 3-tailed ice fox, also joined the battle. Wielding the frigid wood and the autumn water, she attacked the 2 level 4 Mystic Beast sect disciples with all her might, not giving them a chance to escape. Spirit Snake Sword Technique. With his attack suppressed, the sword in the white-haired old man's hand transformed into a jade-green spirit snake. It twisted in the air for a moment before stabbing toward Yi Chunfeng's chest at a speed that was hard to see with the naked eye. Just as Yi Chunfeng's chest was about to be pierced through, Yi Chunfeng suddenly extended a finger and pointed at the spirit snake sword beam. When his finger came into contact with the spirit serpent sword gleam, a force of 650,000 kilograms erupted, and the terrifying power easily shattered the spirit serpent sword gleam. Perfect sword force kill. Breaking the white-haired old man's attack with a single finger, Yi Chunfeng's perfect sword force gushed out from his body, turning into a shocking light sword. It slashed forward at an extremely fast speed, sending the white-haired old man, who had turned pale with fright, flying. A large amount of blood spurted out from his exploding body. After severely injuring the most powerful white-haired elder with one sword attack, Yi Chunfeng stepped on the shifting phantom shadow and increased his speed to the peak. He fought speed with speed as he wantonly continued to suppress the attacks of the other 5 people. Instant kill sword. Seizing the opportunity, Yi Chunfeng's entire body merged with the gigantic Fault Heavenly Sword and turned into an extremely fast sword light. Before the others could react, he slashed at a wounded level 6 Mystic Beast ancestor elder from the Han clan. Tisk! Half of the Han clan's elder's body was split open by the instant kill sword. A large amount of blood and organs splattered all over the floor. He fell into a pool of blood and died. Don't hesitate. Quickly jump off the ship. Seeing the miserable state of the Han clan's elder, the white-haired old man and the others shuddered. They all gave up on counterattacking and wanted to jump off the ship to escape. Do you think you can escape? Yi Chunfeng sneered. The ancient cold mystic ice gushed out from Yi Chunfeng's body and froze the level 5 mystic beast ancestor Burly Man and the brocade-robed man. In an instant, the two of them were frozen by the ancient cold mystic ice that was extremely close to sky water. They turned into two ice sculptures and couldn't move at all. 7 Sword of Judgment, Extreme Cold. The moment the burly man and the brocade-robed man were frozen, the perfect sword aura gushed out from Yi Chunfeng's body and quickly deduced the power of the great Tao. It turned into an extreme cold sword light that could freeze the void and slashed at the other level 6 mystic beast ancestor. No! The extreme cold sword light that contained the power of the great Tao attack. The level 6 mystic beast ancestor from the Han clan let out a cry of despair and quickly burned his blood essence to defend against it. However, the extreme cold sword light's power was too terrifying. The sword light that fell like a meteor directly tore through his defense and shattered his body, killing him on the spot. Using the opportunity when Yi Chunfeng killed the level 6 mystic beast ancestor from the Han clan, the white-haired old man and the brocade-robed man successfully jumped into the rippling waves of the sea and fled for their lives. Nick Heng, I'll leave them to you. I'll go after those two. Yi Chunfeng's sharp eyes locked onto one of them. He summoned the golden rock wings and broke into the sea, chasing after him with all his might. In the blink of an eye, Yi Chunfeng, who had increased his speed to the limit, caught up with him in the sea. He continuously released the ancient cold mysterious ice to freeze the elder's body and controlled the purple spiritual lightning to attack with all his might. Instant kill sword. Facing the attack of the ancient cold mysterious ice and the purple spiritual lightning, this elder of the Han clan couldn't fight back at all. At this moment, Yi Chunfeng suddenly merged with the gigantic fault heavenly sword and heavily injured the elder's body, cutting off half of his body. Art of Soul Devouring, devour! In the next moment, Yi Chunfeng immediately appeared behind him and used the art of soul devouring to devour the elder's spirit beast. He ended the elder's life and took away his belongings before continuing to chase after the white-haired old man. Although the white-haired old man and the brocade-robed man had escaped in different directions, Yi Chunfeng's soul had been tempered by the 8 Carnage Battle Emperor and was extremely powerful. He had been locking onto the elder. After about half an hour, the golden rock wings flapped violently. Yi Chunfeng, who had turned into a stream of light, closed the distance between him and the white-haired old man. Feeling that Yi Chunfeng was getting closer and closer, the white-haired old man was scared out of his wits. He kept burning his qi and blood to escape with all his might. However, his speed couldn't be compared with Yi Chunfeng's at all. Coupled with the fact that he was heavily injured, Yi Chunfeng soon caught up with him. Purple Spiritual Lightning. After closing in on the white-haired old man, Yi Chunfeng kept controlling the purple spiritual lightning to attack the white-haired old man's body, worsening his injuries. Spirit Snake Sky Strike. As his injuries worsened, the white-haired old man was in despair. He suddenly turned his body and burned all his qi and blood to the maximum. He turned into a spirit snake that was hundreds of meters long and launched a fatal attack at Yi Chunfeng. 4 Slaughter Styles, Eternal Night. The white-haired old man turned his body into a move and executed the spirit snake sky strike. Yi Chunfeng immediately used the Eternal Night sword light to meet the attack. He cut open the spirit snake that was hundreds of meters long and severely injured the old man's body. Devour. Before the white-haired old man breathed his last, Yi Chunfeng immediately appeared behind him. He circulated the soul-devouring art and devoured the old man's spirit beast. After obtaining the old man's belongings, he killed the old man. When Yi Chunfeng returned to the ship, Nick Heng had used her own strength to kill the 2 Class 4 Mystic Beast ancestor disciples of the Han clan. Blood flowed everywhere. No, don't kill us. I beg you, please don't kill us. We know our mistakes. Seeing the miserable state of their companions, the 2 men were so frightened that they cried. They kept begging for mercy, praying that Yi Chunfeng would let them go. It's too late. Chapter 261. A killing command. Could it be that one must have a killing command to enter Slaughter City? Yi Chunfeng cleaned up the bloodstains on the deck. When he checked the belongings of the white-haired old man and the others, he unexpectedly found 4 killing commands that were made of special materials. In addition to the 4 killing commands, Yi Chunfeng also found a top Earth-grade soul art, a top Earth-grade soul skill, more than 600,000 mid-grade soul crystals, more than 50 million low-grade soul crystals, 10 high-grade Earth-grade weapons, several Earth-grade soul elixirs, and many recovery spirit-grade soul elixirs. The harvest is not bad. After giving several Earth-grade soul elixirs to Yu Nikhang, Yi Chunfeng adjusted the course of the ship and returned to the cabin to refine the spiritual beasts that he had swallowed in his body and further improve his strength. Time passed day by day. Yi Chunfeng spent about 3 days to refine all the spiritual beasts that he had swallowed in his body. His strength had also reached the peak of Class 1 Mystic Beast Ancestor and was only a step away from breaking through. After another 7 days, the ship finally sailed into the sea area near Slaughter City. Feeling a faint murderous aura in the air, Yi Chunfeng and Yu Nikhang left the cabin and came to the deck. In the distance, between the clouds, a black city that was built on an isolated island appeared. It was emitting a strong murderous aura. Huge ships sped up and sailed towards the dangerous Slaughter City from all directions. A large number of ships docked at the 4 sides of Slaughter City and surrounded it. I can feel the murderous aura from Slaughter City from so far away. This Slaughter City is worthy of being an ancient city. The murderous aura that it has accumulated is too terrifying. Feeling the murderous aura in the air getting stronger and stronger, Yi Chunfeng was not used to it with his strength. He was in awe of Slaughter City. Let's go, Nikhang. Let's get off the ship. The ship slowly entered the slightly congested harbor. Yi Chunfeng and Yu Nikhang left the ship and came to the mottled city. Many layers of the black city walls had fallen off, revealing the vicissitudes of time. Although the city of Slaughter had experienced many ups and downs, it was difficult to conceal its majestic and lofty aura. Many people with weak minds were unable to withstand the murderous aura it emitted and were unable to enter the city. Nikhang, are you okay? Yi Chunfeng silently circulated the 8 slaughtering Azura skill and quickly dispelled the discomfort in his body. He turned his head to look at Yu Nikhang, whose face was slightly pale and whose breathing was rapid, and asked softly, "I'm fine. Don't worry about me." Yu Nikhang took a deep breath and silently operated her family's inherited soul mantra. She slowly adapted to the strong murderous aura in the air and the pressure of Slaughter City itself. Because Yu Nikhang was too beautiful and her figure was too hot, she attracted a lot of attention as she stood under the city of Slaughter and adapted to the murderous aura emitted by the city of Slaughter. Pairs of burning eyes wantonly swept up and down her voluptuous body. Many people even had evil intentions and had designs on her. Phew, alright. I've basically adapted to the murderous aura here. Chingfeng, let's enter the city. After about half an hour, Yu Nikhang had basically adapted to the pressure of Slaughter City. She followed Yi Chunfeng and walked towards the black castle-like city of Slaughter. Slaughter order. Following the bustling crowd, they walked to the 10-meter-tall giant city gate of Slaughter City. A guard wearing black armor and holding a sharp spear stopped them and said coldly. He was emitting a strong murderous aura. Sure enough, entering the city of Slaughter requires a slaughter order. Yi Chunfeng took out 2 black slaughter orders from his Qinkuan bag that he had obtained from killing the Han family's expert. He handed them to the black-armored guard and smoothly walked into the city of Slaughter with Yu Nikhang. Walking into the city of Slaughter, Yi Chunfeng immediately smelled a faint smell of blood in the air. Under the influence of the 8 Sha Azura technique, the deathly aura that filled the city slowly floated over and entered Yi Chunfeng's body, condensing into a killing halo. Detailed explanation of Slaughter City. Is there anyone who needs a detailed explanation of Slaughter City? After walking for a short distance, Yi Chunfeng heard a shout coming from a stall not far from the city gate. He immediately walked over with Yu Nikhang. At this time, there were many people standing next to the stall. They were bargaining with a sharp-faced man wearing a gray robe with a shrewd expression. How much is this detailed explanation of Slaughter City? Yi Chunfeng looked at the pre-printed detailed explanation of Slaughter City placed on the stall and asked in a low voice. 1 book for 300,000 low-grade soul crystals, 2 books for 500,000 low-grade soul crystals, no bargaining. The sharp-faced man said. Okay, I'll buy 1. Including the treasures in the Heavenly Ghost Sect's vault, the extortion of the Holy Moon Sect, and the loot he had obtained along the way, Yi Chunfeng now had close to 300 million low-grade soul crystals. 300,000 low-grade soul crystals was just a drop in the bucket for him, so he bought a detailed explanation of Slaughter City without hesitation. Wait! Just as Yi Chunfeng was about to leave, the sharp-faced man suddenly called out to him. What? Is there anything else? Yi Chunfeng frowned slightly and looked at the sharp-faced man who was a level 5 mystic beast ancestor. He asked coldly. Slaughter City is a place of cannibalism. Killing people on the street and robbing people at will can be seen everywhere. Your female companion is so beautiful that it is likely to cause you big trouble. I have 2 human skin masks, do you want them? Seeing Yi Chunfeng's cold eyes, the sharp-faced man did not care. He took out 2 human skin masks as thin as cicadas' wings from his Qiankuan bag and asked, How much is 1 human skin mask? Yi Chunfeng pondered for a moment and asked, 1 million low-grade soul crystals for 1. After you wear it, you won't be able to see any flaws. Seeing that Yi Chunfeng was tempted, the sharp-faced man smiled and tried his best to persuade him. 1 million low-grade soul crystals for 2. Although Yi Chunfeng had plenty of low-grade soul crystals, he did not want to be taken advantage of. It is not easy to refine these human skin masks. This is the lowest price. The sharp-faced man said with a look as if he was sure that Yi Chunfeng would win. Then forget it, let's go. Yi Chunfeng and his companion came to Slaughter City to gain experience. If they were worried about danger, they would not have come. Therefore, the human skin masks were not very useful to them. Hey, if you don't buy it, you will regret it. Seeing Yi Chunfeng walk away, the sharp-faced man immediately called out to him. However, Yi Chunfeng ignored him and walked further and further away with the charming Yu Nikhang. Just as the sharp-faced man said, Yu Nichang's charm was indeed too great. Walking on the spacious streets of Slaughter City, she immediately became the focus of attention. Many men who were paying attention to her stared blankly and swallowed their saliva. However, under the deterrence of Yi Chunfeng's killing intent deliberately released, no one dared to approach her. Soon, the two came to an ancient-looking restaurant. Let's go in and have something to eat. Let's see what this Slaughter City has to say. Yi Chunfeng pointed at the bustling restaurant in front of them and suggested. Okay. Yu Nikhang nodded and intimately held Yi Chunfeng's arm and followed him in. What a beautiful girl! Yi Chunfeng and his companion had just sat down when 2 men with scars on their faces were immediately attracted by Yu Nichang's charming appearance and hot figure. Their clothes were stained with blood, and their bodies emitted a strong smell of alcohol. Their eyes shone with a fiery light. A level 1 mystic beast ancestor realm brat dares to bring such a beautiful girl to Slaughter City. He must be tired of living. Let's go and tell them the rules of Slaughter City. The weak can't survive here. Chapter 262. Brat, we've taken a liking to this girl. If you don't want to die, then obediently crawl out of here. Otherwise, us 2 brothers will make sure that you won't be able to see the sun tomorrow. The 2 men walked in front of Yi Chunfeng and fiercely slammed the table. They looked at him with ferocious eyes and fiercely ordered him. Scram! Yi Chunfeng didn't think that trouble would come knocking the moment he sat down. He placed the fragrant spiritual teacup on the table, and a strong killing intent emitted from his body. Motherf asterisk cur, you dare to scold me? I'll chop you up. The slightly taller middle-aged man didn't think that Yi Chunfeng would dare to insult him in front of everyone. His eyes flashed with killing intent as he took out a gloomy broadsword from his Qianquan bag and chopped towards Yi Chunfeng's head. Just as Yi Chunfeng's head was about to be chopped by the broadsword filled with soul power, a deafening thunderous sound rang out. The extremely destructive extreme purple spiritual lightning spewed out from Yi Chunfeng's body and bombarded him at close range. Rumble! The extreme purple spiritual lightning exploded, and the powerful thunderous force shook off the broadsword that was coming down with full force. It bombarded the tall man who couldn't dodge in time and directly sent him flying. He was like a kite with a broken string as he heavily fell to the ground. A large amount of blood sprayed out from his mouth. Spiritual lightning, you actually subdued a ball of spiritual lightning. Seeing the extreme purple spiritual lightning spewing out from Yi Chunfeng's body, the short man's expression changed greatly. He didn't think that Yi Chunfeng, who was only a level 1 mystic beast ancestor, would be able to subdue a type of spiritual lightning. Just as he was shocked, 350,000 pounds of force exploded from Yi Chunfeng's body. He rushed towards the short man and used the collapsing cloud palm. It carried a suffocating force as it bombarded towards him. Boom! Taking the collapsing cloud palm head-on, the short man's body trembled violently and uncontrollably retreated. A large amount of cracks appeared on his bloody body, and the blood that spurted out from his body instantly dyed him red. So strong, who is so strong? He must be hiding his strength. Without powerful strength, would he dare to bring such a beautiful woman to Slaughter City? Su Qi and the others have kicked an iron plate. Not necessarily. Su Qi and Lu Tong are both members of the 10,000 Kill Gang. As for the 10,000 Kill Gang, they are famous for massacring people in the outer city. Furthermore, they are extremely protective of their own people. They will absolutely not tolerate someone challenging their authority. Witnessing the scene of Yi Chunfeng heavily injuring Su Qi and Lu Tong with lightning speed, the large restaurant was in an uproar. You don't come over. We're from the 10,000 Kills Gang. If you kill me, the 10,000 Kills Gang will never let you off. Seeing Yi Chunfeng walk towards them step by step and feeling the killing intent emanating from his body, Su Qi and Su Li's hearts trembled. They had no choice but to bring out the name of the 10,000 Killers Gang to deter Yi Chunfeng. Hearing their threats, Yi Chunfeng remained unmoved. A large amount of frigid qi gushed out from his body, freezing the heavily injured Su Qi and Lu Tong. In the next moment, the perfect sword force gushed out of his body, forming two extremely fast sword gleams that pierced through their heads at an extremely fast speed. Pung pung! The two's heads were pierced through by the sword gleams condensed from the perfect sword force. Blood splattered all over the ground as they died on the spot. After killing Su Qi and Lu Tong, Yi Chunfeng collected their belongings and circulated the 8 Sha Azura art, absorbing the drifting death qi into his body. He didn't immediately leave. Instead, he returned to Yu Nichang's side and took out the detailed explanation of Slaughter City. This young man's guts are too big. He actually dared to kill people from the 10,000 Kills Gang. Yeah, with the 10,000 Kills Gang's vengeful nature, they will definitely avenge Su Qi and Lu Tong. With the 10,000 Kills Gang's strength, they won't be able to escape death. What a pity for such a beautiful woman. Hearing the discussions of the crowd, Yi Chunfeng's expression didn't change. He opened the detailed explanation of Slaughter City and carefully read it with Yu Nichang. Slaughter City was divided into the outer city and inner city. With a slaughter order, one could enter the outer city. There were no restrictions in the outer city, and one could freely kill as one wished. This was also the reason why the 10,000 Kills Gang was born. But the inner city strictly prohibited killing on the street. If one wanted to enter the inner city, they first had to go to the killing field in the outer city and win 20 battles in a row. Only then would they be able to obtain an identity token to enter the inner city. In the killing field, after winning 20 battles in a row, one could obtain 100 slaughter points for every 10 battles they won. Once they won 100 battles in a row, they could obtain the precious 100 victory badge, a slaughter stone, and 1,000 slaughter points as a reward. Slaughter points were the most precious things in the inner city. It was also the only currency used in the inner city. With slaughter points, one could freely exchange them for treasures and resources in the inner city. However, slaughter points were not easy to obtain. Apart from going to the slaughter tower to obtain the corresponding rewards, one could only sell their own treasures and directly exchange them for slaughter points in Slaughter City. And the slaughter tower was the only place in the inner city where slaughter was allowed. It was also the fastest place to earn slaughter points. The slaughter tower had a total of 10 levels. Every 10 battles one allowed them to ascend a level. Every time one ascended a level, not only would they be able to obtain slaughter points as a reward, but they could also exchange them for treasures of different values. The slaughter tower was also the most popular place in the inner city. Besides the slaughter tower, the inner city also had the North Sea Ancient Land and the Nine-Dragon Jade Wall. Of these, the North Sea Ancient Land was the most mysterious and also the most dangerous. It opened once every 10 years, and only the top geniuses of the inner city had the qualifications to enter to seek great lucky chances. The Nine-Dragon Jade Wall was a test of one's talent. Only those who had ascended to the 5th level of the Slaughter Tower had the qualifications to accept the Nine-Dragon Jade Wall's test. If one could pass the 9th level of the Nine-Dragon Jade Wall, not only would they obtain a reward that would make others green with envy, but they would also obtain their own unique title. For tens of thousands of years, there had only been a few geniuses that had passed the Nine-Dragon Jade Wall's test and obtained a title. And in the last 3,000 years, not a single person had been able to do so. Besides these 3 important places, the inner city also had the auction house, the training field, the treasure pavilion, as well as the relaxing brothels and casinos. It could be said that as long as one had enough slaughter points, the inner city of Slaughter was absolutely a paradise on earth. As for the women in the brothels, they were unrivaled beauties. However, very few people were willing to spend their slaughter points on women. Looks like we still have to make a trip to the slaughter field. Yi Chunfeng and Yu Nikhang browsed through the detailed explanation of the inner city. They were very interested in the inner city where danger and opportunity coexisted. Let's go, Nikhang. Let's find a place to rest first. Tomorrow we will go to the slaughter field to fight and try to enter the inner city as soon as possible. Yi Chunfeng slowly stood up and said. Just as the two of them left the restaurant and were preparing to find a place to rest, Yi Chunfeng's sharp perception suddenly sensed that someone was following them. He couldn't help but frown. The people following us should be from the 10,000 Kills gang. Yu Nikhang also sensed that someone was following them and coldly said. Chapter 263. Green Bamboo House. I didn't think that there would be such an elegant place in the outer city of Slaughter City. Nikhang, let's stay here for a while. According to the topographic map of Slaughter City, Yi Chunfeng and Yi Qingtang came to the depths of the Green Bamboo House, surrounded by green bamboos. The air was fresh, and it was incompatible with the outside world. They immediately fell in love with this place. Okay. Yu Nikhang was also very satisfied with the environment of the Green Bamboo House, and nodded in agreement. Nikhang, Slaughter City is full of danger. I think it's best for the two of us to stay together. Although Yu Nikhang had cultivated her 6 Meridians God Shield to the 5th layer, which was enough to fight against a level 6 Xian Beast Sect expert, her foundation was still a bit weak. For the sake of caution, Yi Chunfeng suggested. Chunfeng, you wouldn't want to do something to me, would you? Hearing Yi Chunfeng's suggestion, Yu Nichang's red lips slightly curved up. Her beautiful big eyes turned into the shape of a crescent moon. She looked at him with a burning gaze and boldly asked, "Do you think I am that kind of person?" Yi Chunfeng rubbed his nose and said somewhat helplessly, "I don't know if you are that kind of person, but I will find a way to make you that kind of person." After saying this, Yu Nikheng laughed out loud. Her undulating breasts made Yi Chunfeng's heart burn. The environment of the green bamboo house was elegant, and the price of living was also quite expensive. Fortunately, Slaughter City didn't require slaughter point. Yi Chunfeng spent a total of 1,000,000 low-grade soul crystals and booked a luxurious suite. "I'm so tired. Qingfeng, I'm going to take a bath. Do you want to peek?" After entering the guest room, Yunishang kicked off her boots and walked into the inner room with bare feet. She laid down lazily on the soft bed and looked straight at Yi Chunfeng. She spoke in a tone that was so alluring that it seemed as if she didn't have to pay for it. "Nikheng, stop trying to seduce me. Hurry up and take a bath. If you're late, I'm afraid that the 10,000 Kills gang will be here soon," Yi Chunfeng said helplessly as he looked at Yu Nikheng, who was lying on the bed with her exquisite curves. "Ha ha ha, you have the heart but not the guts." Yu Nikheng caught Yi Chunfeng's gaze sweeping over her body. Not only was she not angry, but she laughed even louder. Her licentious attitude made Yi Chunfeng's heart burn. "Nikheng, take a good bath. I'll keep watch for you." Yi Chunfeng found that his resistance to Yu Nikheng was getting lower and lower. He didn't dare to stay in the charming room for too long. He closed the door to the inner room and circulated the 8 strands of Azura skill in the outer room, condensing the killing halo. At this time, the 10,000 Kills gang members who had been following Yi Chunfeng immediately reported their movements to the 10,000 Kills gang. The night grew deeper and deeper. Seeing Yi Chunfeng enter a state of cultivation, Yu Nikheng took a bath and changed her clothes. Her body exuded a faint fragrance, and she didn't disturb him. She swallowed an Earth-step soul pill and began to attack the 5th-level Mystic Beast Ancestor realm. As Yi Chunfeng absorbed the killing intent that had entered his body during the day and began to condense the second killing halo, his keen perception pierced through the soundproofing spells outside the green bamboo house. He sensed danger approaching. Over a dozen 10,000 Kills gang members were lying in ambush in the green bamboo forest, preparing to ambush him. They really don't know the meaning of death. Yi Chunfeng was not a soft-hearted person. As he sensed the 10,000 Kills gang's intentions, a thick killing intent burst out from his eyes. "When we attack, kill that brat who doesn't know the immensity of the heavens and earth. But the gang master is very interested in that great beauty. Remember not to harm her, otherwise if the gang master blames us, we won't be able to bear the consequences," a 5th-level Mystic Beast Ancestor realm old man solemnly warned. His entire body was covered in a black robe. His eyes were sunken into his cheeks, his hair was slightly gray, and his voice was slightly hoarse. "Don't worry, Third Elder. We know what to do." The dozen or so 10,000 Kills gang members didn't put Yi Chunfeng in their eyes at all and repeatedly assured him, "I'm afraid you won't have the chance." Just as they were about to attack, a bone-chilling voice suddenly rang out in their ears. The black-robed sword spirit puppet, whose entire body seemed to be one with the night, appeared behind them and said in a sinister voice, "Don't worry. Who are you?" Seeing the strange appearance of the sword puppet, the black-robed old man and the others were shocked. They fused with their spirit beasts and looked at him as if they were facing a great enemy. "I'm the one who will kill you." The sword puppet spoke without a trace of emotion. A sharp sword aura erupted from his body and locked onto the black-robed old man and the others, making them feel suffocated. Not good. This person is a 6th-level Mystic Beast Ancestor expert. We are no match for him. Quickly break out of here and leave this place. After confirming the strength of the sword puppet, the black-robed old man and the others trembled in their hearts. They gave up the idea of attacking Yi Chunfeng and wanted to split up and escape. "Kill!" The sword puppet's gem-like eyes shot out a dense killing intent. A large amount of energy burned in his body. Unparalleled sword rays bloomed in his body like blooming lotuses and attacked the black-robed old man and the others. Following a series of blood-curdling screams, the bodies of the 10,000 Kills gang members were split open by the sword rays shot out by the sword puppet. They fell into a pool of blood and died on the spot. Although the 5th-level Mystic Beast ancestor white-haired old man resisted the attack of the sword puppet's split sword rays with his strength, he was still seriously injured. More importantly, he realized that in just 2 breaths, all the 10,000 Kills gang members who came to assassinate Yi Chunfeng, except for him, were killed by the sword puppet. He was so scared that he lost 2 of his souls. Self-destructing rock, explode for me. After experiencing the terror of the sword puppet, the black-robed old man quickly took out a self-destructing rock from his Qiankuan ring and threw it at Yi Chunfeng. Boom! A terrifying self-destructing force exploded, forming a destructive storm that swallowed the sword puppet directly. Blood escape. Seizing this opportunity, the black-robed old man burned his blood and chi without hesitation and used the blood escape that could greatly increase his speed. He turned into a bloody light and tried to escape. However, the sword puppet had already locked onto him. The moment he used the blood escape to escape, the sword puppet immediately tore apart the destructive storm. A sword ray that traversed the void slashed through the void, leaving a sword mark in the night sky. The sword slashed at the black-robed old man who couldn't dodge in time. Bang! The black-robed old man's body exploded. Blood and broken limbs scattered all over the ground. The sword puppet killed the black-robed old man and the others at lightning speed. Yi Chunfeng mysteriously appeared outside and used the 8-Sha Azura art to absorb the drifting death chi in the air. He took away their belongings and disappeared into the night like a ghost. He passed through the soundproof restriction and returned to the room. Why are these people so poor? Yi Chunfeng used the power of the God-Eater brain to break open the Qiankuan bags of the black-robed old man and the others. He found that there was almost nothing valuable in their Qiankuan bags. Even the soul crystals were pitifully few. What is this? When the God-Eater brain broke open the Qiankuan bag of the black-robed old man, Yi Chunfeng unexpectedly found a black stone the size of a quail egg. It contained the power of slaughter. Could this be the stone of slaughter that can increase the power of weapons? Yi Chunfeng muttered to himself. He was interested in the stone of slaughter. At the same time, the 10,000 Kills gang's spies discovered the black-robed old man and the others' corpses. They immediately sent the news back to the gang. What? Old Black and the others are all dead? The sect leader of the 10,000 Kills gang, who was tall and sturdy and had a full beard. His muscles moved like snakes on his body, making him look like a human bear. When he heard this news, he flew into a rage. A powerful killing intent was emitted from his body. Gather the gang's experts and follow me to the green bamboo house to kill that brat. I want to chop him up and feed him to the dogs. Gang master, calm your anger. That brat was able to kill Old Black and the others. His strength is not simple. Looking at the enraged 10,000 Kills gang master, a shrewd old man in a gray robe with a goatee and gold-rimmed glasses said, I suggest we borrow the hands of others to get rid of him. Borrow whose hands? The 10,000 Kills gang master frowned and asked in a low voice. If my guess is correct, they will definitely go to the killing fields tomorrow. My 10,000 Kills gang has always cooperated with the killing field. We can ask the killing fields to arrange some ruthless people to deal with him. This way we can borrow the hands of the killing fields to eliminate him. The gray-robed old man suggested. That's a good idea. Let's do that. Chapter 264. Early in the morning, the first rays of the morning sun peeked out, the east was white, and the rising sun dyed the sky a rosy color, dazzling and enchanting. When the gentle rays of sunlight shone through the window, Unikhang woke up from her deep sleep. Morning, Ching Feng. Yu Nikhang, who was wearing a white chiffon nightgown, slowly sat up and stretched lazily, revealing her enchanting curves. Morning. Looking at Yu Nichang's plump, voluptuous, and sexy body, Yi Chenfeng had to admit that Yu Nikhang was indeed too enchanting. Today we're going to the slaughterhouse. Keep this small bottle of heavenly fate water well. Remember to take it at the crucial moment. It can instantly restore your expended soul power and save your life. Yi Chenfeng took a deep breath, calmed down his restless heart, and gave her a small bottle of the precious water of heavenly fate. All right, Nikhang, quickly change your clothes. I'll wait for you outside. Seeing the mesmerizing whiteness in Moon Raymond's nightgown at such a close distance and smelling the faint fragrance on her body, Yi Chenfeng's little heart that he had just suppressed started to beat restlessly again. He didn't dare to stay for too long and ran away amidst Moon Raymond's wanton laughter. After about an incense stick's worth of time, Moon Raymond walked out. She was wearing a tight-fitting jumpsuit that tightly wrapped around her voluptuous body. Her enchanting figure and slender legs were like poison, emitting a fatal charm. I really should spend money to buy you a human skin mask. You'll be in trouble if you go out dressed like this. Looking at the sexy Yu Nikhang, Yi Chenfeng could already foresee that there would be endless trouble waiting for him. With you protecting me, I'm not afraid. Yu Nichang's alluring red lips curled up slightly. She intimately held onto Yi Chenfeng's arm and left the green bamboo residence with him. They went to the busiest slaughterhouse in the outer city. This slaughterhouse has such a terrifying aura. When Yi Chenfeng and Yu Nikhang arrived at the slaughterhouse, which was hundreds of feet high and was made of black steel stone, they immediately felt a strong visual impact. It could be said that the slaughterhouse in front of them was like a meteorite that had fallen to the mortal world. It had experienced the wind and rain and witnessed the changes of the slaughterhouse. What a pretty girl. Brat, I'll give you 100,000 low-grade soul crystals. How about you give this girl to me? Just as Yi Chenfeng and Yu Chang were looking at the killing field up close, a level 3 profound beast ancestor with bronze skin and thick hair walked over. His eyes were narrowed into slits as he looked at Yu Chang's hot body with a burning gaze and spoke in a domineering manner. Ha ha, you want me? I'm afraid you're not qualified. Yu Nichang's alluring red lips curled up at an enchanting angle. A strong killing intent flashed in her beautiful eyes as she locked onto the short man. In the next moment, 2 extremely fast sword lights flew out of Yu Nichang's Qiankuan pouch and pierced towards the short man at a speed that was difficult to be seen with the naked eye. Chi! The short man's body was penetrated by the cold wood and autumn water treasures. A large amount of blood spurted out from his body. Bang! The short man's eyes gradually lost their light as he fell heavily into a pool of blood and died. Let's go, Nikhang. Let's go in. Yi Chenfeng swept his gaze over the short man's corpse. His expression did not change at all. Together with Yu Nichang, who had reverted to her demoness form, he walked into the bustling killing field. Walking into the slaughterhouse, Yi Chenfeng immediately smelled the pungent smell of blood in the air. The 8 Sha Azura technique in his body involuntarily started to circulate and absorb the drifting death qi in the air. Feeling more and more death qi gathering in his body, Yi Chenfeng had a feeling that even if he did not fight, as long as he cultivated here for a month, he would be able to condense the second slaughtering halo. At this time, the slaughterhouse was surrounded by a ring of spectators. There were many huge arenas where intense battles were taking place. Kill him! Kill! Chop him into mincemeat! Kill! Kill! The fierce battles and the sharp screams were like catalysts that stimulated the hearts of the spectators in the stands, making their blood boil. They were deeply immersed in the battle and could not extricate themselves. They enjoyed this kind of bloody excitement very much. Bastard, go to hell for me! A burly level 4 mystic beast ancestor with explosive muscles and a heavy hammer in his hand roared. With a powerful impact, he smashed towards a short, skinny man in front of him. Seeing that the short man was about to be smashed into a meat patty by the heavy hammer, suddenly, the short man with a pair of iron claws moved. His whole body spun like a fish and turned into a stream in the air, drilling into the bald man's chest. Kacha! The crisp sound of bones breaking rang out. The bald man's hairy chest was twisted into a bloody hole. His bloody body directly exploded and turned into a cloud of blood mist. He died on the spot. 19 consecutive wins. One more win and I will get the identity token to enter the slaughterhouse inner city. The short man looked coldly at the bald man's dismembered body and jumped down from the arena. Let's go register for the competition. Yi Chunfeng watched a few matches and discovered that the two sides of the duels weren't very strong, so he didn't continue watching. Instead, he went to the registration area with moon raiment and handed over 500,000 low-grade soul crystals. He received a black token of slaughter that was forged from a special material. It could transmit information about the duel and record the number of victories. Sect leader Elder Tan just sent me a message. Those two people have already registered. He's currently arranging opponents for those two people. Just as Yi Chunfeng and Yu Nikhang registered, the gang leader, who was sitting on the east side of the stands and hugging two delicate beauties, received the news. Thank Elder Tan on my behalf, but tell him that I only want that brat's life. Don't hurt that woman. After this matter is settled, I will definitely reward him. Seeing Yu Nikhang beside Yi Chunfeng, who was wearing a tight one-piece suit that outlined her voluptuous figure and exuded an enchanting charm, the gang leader's eyes lit up. Compared to Yu Nikhang, he felt that the two beauties in his arms were nothing more than chickens. He immediately lost interest. Yes, gang leader. I will contact Elder Tan. The gang leader nodded. Brat, I will soon let you know the consequences of going against my gang leader. However, I will take good care of the little beauties beside you. The gang leader's eyes flashed with a cruel light. It was as if he had already grasped Yi Chunfeng and Yu Nichang's fate in his hands. It's my turn. Martial stage number 4. Yi Chunfeng and Yu Nikhang waited for a while. Suddenly, the slaughterhouse black token at Yi Chunfeng's waist lit up. After receiving the information about his match, Yi Chunfeng slowly stood up. Chunfeng, be careful. Yu Nikhang whispered. You be careful too. Yi Chunfeng nodded and walked towards martial stage number 4. It's him. Chapter 265. Unstoppable, Who would have thought that the killing fields would give me such a big gift? Interesting, very interesting. When the short man saw Yi Chunfeng, he was stunned for a moment. He didn't expect that his opponent for the 20th round would only be a first-grade mystic beast ancestor. Brat, I have to say your luck is really bad, but I'm in a good mood today. I'll give you a quick death. The short man looked at Yi Chunfeng with disdain, completely not putting him in his eyes. Really? But I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. Yi Chunfeng said with a calm expression. The Corpse King hammer that weighed more than 100,000 jin appeared in his hand. Yeah, is this Yi Chunfeng out of his mind? He actually chose to use so many troops to deal with Cho Chi. Could it be that he didn't watch Cho Chi's matches? Doesn't he know that his forte is speed? When the 10,000 kills gang leader saw the Corpse King hammer in Yi Chunfeng's hand, he was stunned for a moment. Then, a mocking smile appeared on his face. The 10,000 kills gang leader wasn't the only one paying attention to Yi Chunfeng's match. Many people who were infatuated with Yu Nikhang were also paying attention to him. They kept praying in their hearts that Yi Chunfeng would be killed quickly. That way, they would have a chance to get a share of Yu Nikhang. 3 moves, and I'll send you to hell. Cho Chi said domineeringly as he put on the sharp claws that were forged from special materials and were comparable to high-grade Earth-tier weapons. You talk too much nonsense. It's hard for me to imagine that someone like you can achieve 19 consecutive victories, Yi Chunfeng said impatiently. You are courting death. Hearing Yi Chunfeng's ridicule, Cho Chi flew into a rage. A powerful baleful aura was emitted from his body. His thin and small body turned into a stream of light, stabbing towards Yi Qinfeng's chest. Cho Chi's attack could be said to be extremely fast, causing many people to be unable to catch his lightning-fast speed. However, Yi Qinfeng's soul had been tempered by the 8 Slaughter Battle Emperor and was incomparably powerful. He easily captured the trajectory of his attack and erupted with 650,000 Jin of strength. He swung the heavy Corpse King hammer and smashed it down. What? Cho Chi, who was attacking at full speed, only saw a flash in front of his eyes. The Corpse King hammer with 650,000 Jin of strength bombarded his attack trajectory, making him unable to dodge. Boom! After forcing Cho Chi back with one hammer strike, Yi Qinfeng followed up with another attack. The Corpse King hammer, which was powerful enough to smash a small mountain, smashed towards Cho Chi. The terrifying pressure made him feel suffocated. Cho Chi didn't dodge. A scorching hot soul power gushed out from his body and fused into his claws, turning into 2 fireballs that bombarded the Corpse King hammer. Boom! Boom! 2 loud sounds. Cho Chi's hellfire was smashed apart by the Zombie King hammer with a force of 650,000 Jin. The powerful force surged into his arms and injured his body. A mouthful of blood uncontrollably spurted out from his mouth. What? How can this brat be so strong? Did he hide his strength? Looking at the claws that were smashed by the Corpse King hammer, the heavily injured Cho Chi was shocked to the extreme. He couldn't imagine that Yi Qinfeng's fighting strength was so terrifying. Not only Cho Chi was shocked, the 10,000 Kills gang leader and the others also looked like they had seen a ghost. They couldn't imagine what they were seeing. Flaming bird fuse. Seeing Yi Qinfeng's shocking attack power, Cho Chi no longer hid his strength. A large flaming bird fused into his body, increasing his strength to the greatest extent. Heavenly Hellfire Fist. Raising his strength to the limit, Cho Chi immediately used the strongest soul skill he knew. Fiery meteor-like fist lights shot out, bombarding Yi Qinfeng in a densely packed manner. Shape-shifting phantom. A light flashed under Yi Qinfeng's feet. In a very short time, he moved, dodging the heavenly Hellfire Fist, and approached the shocked Cho Chi. So fast. Cho Chi was most confident in his speed, but seeing Yi Qinfeng's speed in dodging the heavenly Hellfire Fist, he was stunned. When he came back to his senses and wanted to dodge, a cold air was emitted from Yi Qinfeng's body, freezing his legs. It's over. Yi Qinfeng fiercely smashed the Corpse King hammer at Cho Chi. 650,000 Jin of strength exploded from the Corpse King hammer, bombarding his body, breaking his body's defense, and smashing his thin body into minced meat. 8 Sha Azura Art Fuse. After killing Cho Chi, Yi Qinfeng immediately operated the 8 Sha Azura Art, absorbing the death aura emitted from his body, and further condensing the killing halo. Cho Chi is dead. Cho Chi, who had 1 foot in the 5th rank Mystic Beast Ancestor realm, actually died. The 10,000 Kills gang leader opened his eyes wide, looking at Yi Qinfeng in disbelief. He couldn't believe that he actually killed Cho Chi. Yi Qinfeng defeated Cho Chi with an overwhelming advantage, and Yu Nikhang also defeated an opponent 3 ranks lower than her with absolute strength, obtaining her first victory. Yi Qinfeng returned to the resting area, and before he could recover, the Black Slaughter token once again conveyed the competition information to him. So fast. Yi Qinfeng frowned slightly. He didn't expect it to be his turn so soon. He went to the 3rd stage and waited for his opponent. Soon, a burly middle-aged man with long black hair casually draped over his shoulders and a heavy axe on his back leaped onto the stage, exuding a strong oppressive aura. He looked unrestrained and unrestrained. 37 consecutive victories. Seeing the number 37 on the Black Slaughter token on the heavy axe man's waist, Yi Qinfeng felt suspicious. He felt that someone had purposely arranged his opponents, and that they were all very strong. Although he had witnessed the scene of Yi Chunfeng killing Cho Chi, the heavy axe man's face didn't change at all. When he pulled out the heavy axe on his back, a black bear appeared behind him, and his aura underwent a great change. A strong aura was emitted from his body, fluctuating the air and pressuring Yi Chunfeng. Feeling the pressure from the heavy axe man's aura, Yi Chunfeng's pupils shrank. The accumulated killing intent from the blood and bones emitted from his body, and the terrifying killing intent made the heavy axe man's expression change for the first time. Kill. The competition started, and Yi Chunfeng and the heavy axe man moved at the same time. The two heavy weapons fiercely clashed together, and sparks flew everywhere. What a strong power! Facing the power of Yi Chunfeng's hammer head-on, the heavy axe man was shocked to find that Yi Chunfeng's power was actually above his. His right hand that was holding the heavy axe had a trace of numbness. After the first hammer, Yi Chunfeng's attack didn't slow down. He pushed his physical strength to the limit, swinging the Zombie King hammer that was more than 100,000 pounds, and launched a series of fierce attacks on the heavy axe man. The fierce attacks completely suppressed the heavy axe man, and the skin on his right arm that was holding the heavy axe was cracked, and a large amount of blood flowed out. Chi and blood burn. His attack was suppressed, and the heavy axe man's eyes were blood red. He roared and burned his chi and blood force to the maximum, increasing his own strength, and trying to turn the situation around. Just as his strength was increased to the limit, and the powerful chi and blood force was rolling in his body, an extremely fast purple lightning rushed out from Yi Chunfeng's body, and pierced his throat at a speed that was hard to be seen by the naked eye. Chi. The heavy axe man couldn't react in time, and his throat was pierced through by the purple spiritual thunder. His head exploded like a watermelon, and his strong body fell heavily to the ground, dead. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record, and you will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 266. 20 Consecutive Victories. Su Man is dead. The Su Man who won 37 matches in a row and was unwilling to slaughter in the inner city has actually died. And from the beginning to the end, that person didn't even use the power of his spirit beast. Just which great influence raised such a peerless genius. Seeing Su Man being killed by Yi Chunfeng and lying in a pool of his own blood, the spectators who were paying attention to the battle were all stunned by Yi Chunfeng's strength. Purple lightning. Could it be that he subdued a kind of heaven and earth spirit water, and also a kind of heaven and earth spirit thunder? The 10,000 Kill Gang's leader gloomily looked at Yi Chunfeng. He discovered that Yi Chunfeng was even more difficult to deal with than he had imagined. After killing Su Man and absorbing the death energy emitted from his body, Yi Chunfeng returned to the resting area and waited for Yunichang's battle to end. Yunichang's opponent was far weaker than her. After resisting for 3 rounds, he immediately admitted defeat and lost the match. It seems that the one who deliberately targeted me was someone from the 10,000 Kill Gang. Yi Chunfeng discovered that his opponents were all first-class ruthless people, but Yunichang's opponents were all weaker than her. He immediately guessed who it was that wanted to harm him. 10,000 Kill Gang, since you want to kill me, then don't blame me for making you disappear from Slaughter City. Towards his enemies, Yi Chunfeng was never merciful. He had already given the death sentence to the 10,000 Kill Gang. As for the 10,000 Kill Gang being inextricably linked to Slaughter City, Yi Chunfeng didn't take it to heart. In the boundless years of Slaughter City, far too many influences had been born. If the 10,000 Kill Gang fell, then the 1,000 Kill Association, 100 Kill Hall, and other similar influences would rise up. To Slaughter City there was no loss, and as long as he displayed enough strength and gained more exposure, then Slaughter City would have some misgivings. After all, compared to the Xingluo continent's super influences, there was still a considerable difference in strength. Before they figured out his background, they wouldn't dare to harm him. The third opponent is here. Yi Chunfeng wasn't afraid of being schemed against, so he didn't end the day's matches early. He waited patiently for half an incense stick's worth of time before his third opponent arrived. It was a young man who held a long spear and had an extraordinary bearing. He was at the peak of level 4 mystic beast ancestor and seemed to be from a large clan. You are very strong. I know that I am not your opponent, but I will still fight with all my strength. The spear-wielding man did not underestimate Yi Chunfeng because of his cultivation level. Instead, he spoke with a solemn expression. If you can withstand one of my attacks, you win. Yi Chunfeng said indifferently when he sensed that the spear-wielding man had no killing intent other than battle intent in his eyes. You, the spear-wielding man, didn't expect that Yi Chunfeng would look down on him so much. His face darkened, and a surge of anger ignited in his heart. A strong fighting spirit gushed out of his body, and his terrifying spiritual beast roared at Yi Chunfeng. Be careful, Yi Chunfeng reminded him. The perfected sword aura gushed out of his body and soared into the sky. The powerful sword aura shook the restriction above the arena, causing ripples of energy to appear. It deeply shocked the spear-wielding man. Perfected sword aura. You are actually a swordsman. After watching Yi Chunfeng's 2 matches, the spear-wielding man thought that Yi Chunfeng's sharpest attacks were his strength and purple spiritual thunder. He didn't expect that Yi Chunfeng was actually a swordsman who had comprehended the perfected sword aura. To be able to cultivate the sword aura to the perfected state, one must have talent, opportunity, and inheritance. A swordsman who had comprehended the perfected sword aura would have a limitless future. Instant kill sword. While the spear-wielding man was in a daze, Yi Chunfeng turned his body into a sword and slashed forcefully. The 600,000 kilograms of force merged with the perfected sword aura. A sword light that was faster than the speed of light cut through the space and slashed towards the spear-wielding man with astonishing destructive power. Soul-shaking spear. The spear-wielding man's pupils shrank. He gathered all the soul power in his body into the upper-grade, earth-grade spear in his hand. Like a dragon coming out of its cave, he thrust out his spear to the limit and pierced the sword aura. In the next moment, he felt a sword aura that was beyond his imagination shattering the power of his spear. It broke through his body's defense and penetrated into his body, making him deeply feel the feeling of death. Pfff. A ball of blood spurted out from his mouth. The spear-wielding man was sent flying by Yi Chunfeng's sword aura. He left behind several balls of blood mist in the air and fell out of the arena. He had lost the match in a sorry state. Strong, too strong. Is he really only a first-grade mystic beast ancestor? This kid is most likely from the Xingluo continent's Holy Land. Otherwise, his background wouldn't be so deep. Yeah, daring to bring such a beautiful girl to Slaughter City, his background must not be small. After seeing the scene of Yi Chunfeng defeating the spear-wielding man in one move, the audience in the stands started to discuss and guess the identity of Yi Chunfeng. After defeating his third opponent without any suspense, Yi Chunfeng did not leave the arena. He stood straight like a steel spear in the center of the arena and said in a deep voice, "Next." Gotcha. Seeing Yi Chunfeng's extraordinary figure and hearing his domineering voice, the 10,000 Kills gang leader was so angry that he crushed the teacup in his hand. His body emitted a thick evil aura as he roared, "Too arrogant, this kid is too arrogant. Contact Elder Tan for me and tell him that as long as he can kill this Yi Chunfeng, I will increase the reward by 5 times. The sect leader of the 10,000 Kills clan had just finished speaking when he suddenly felt a terrifying aura lock onto him. He hurriedly looked at Yi Chunfeng, and his sharp gaze collided with hers. Meeting Yi Chunfeng's gaze, which was as sharp as a knife, the 10,000 Kills gang leader's heart inexplicably trembled. He felt that just by standing there, Yi Chunfeng gave him a feeling of being the master of the world, as if the entire world was in his hands. Yi Chunfeng had already guessed that the person who was targeting him was most likely sitting in one of the luxurious stands. Therefore, when the 10,000 Kills gang leader flew into a rage, his extraordinary soul spirit locked onto him. Tell Elder Tan that as long as he can eliminate this kid, I will give him 10 times the reward. The 10,000 Kills gang leader didn't think that Yi Chunfeng would discover him amongst tens of thousands of people. In addition to his astonishing performance and his terrifying background, a deep sense of unease and fear rose in his heart. Elder Tan, what should we do? Should we continue arranging opponents for him? Also, the 10,000 Kills gang leader just sent a message to you, saying that as long as we arrange for people to kill Yi Chunfeng, he is willing to give us 10 times the reward. At the same time, a tall man in black robes arrived at the back hall. He asked Elder Tan, who was in charge of arranging the matches for the entire killing field. Humph, 10 times the reward. Elder Tan coldly snorted. To kill a genius with a Holy Land background, is 10 times the reward enough? Cancel my original arrangement and arrange normal opponents for him. Don't let him see any suspicions, lest he transfers his resentment to us. Yes, Elder Tan. I will make the arrangements. The black-clothed man obeyed. Soon, Yi Chunfeng's fourth opponent, a beautiful young woman with heavy makeup and revealing clothes, stepped onto the stage. Little handsome brother, I've already won 13 matches in a row. How about you let me win? As long as you let me win, I can agree to any request you have. I guarantee that I will serve you well. The beautiful young woman threw a flirtatious glance at Yi Chunfeng, speaking in an extremely seductive manner. One move. As long as you can withstand one of my attacks, it will be your win. Yi Chunfeng coldly looked at the beautiful young woman whose figure and appearance couldn't compare with Yunyi's, speaking without the slightest trace of emotion. Seeing Yi Chunfeng being so unreasonable, the beautiful young woman gnashed her teeth in anger. But she really didn't dare to fight with Yi Chunfeng. After hesitating for a while, she finally unwillingly admitted defeat, giving Yi Chunfeng his fourth consecutive victory. After the beautiful young woman, Elder Tan ordered people to continuously arrange opponents for Yi Chunfeng. But Yi Chunfeng's opponents weren't very strong, and most of them admitted defeat on the spot. Soon, Yi Chunfeng's winning streak reached 20 matches, and he easily obtained the identity token to enter the inner city. As for Yu Nikhang, although she wasn't as relaxed as Yi Chunfeng, she also won one match after another. When the sky gradually darkened, she had also obtained 20 consecutive victories, and also obtained the qualifications to enter the inner city. Let's go, we're going back. After obtaining 20 consecutive victories, Yi Chunfeng didn't make any more move. He coldly glanced at the 10,000 Kills gang's leader, and then left with Yu Nikhang, who had also obtained 20 consecutive victories. Looking at their departing backs, the 10,000 Kills gang's leader's face was gloomy as he constantly thought of a plan to deal with them. He had a feeling that if he couldn't eliminate Yi Chunfeng, then what awaited him and the 10,000 Kills gang was likely to be annihilated. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button below to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 267. People of the Evil Way. The Slaughter City at night was even more bustling than during the day. All sorts of restaurants and brothels were brightly lit. Numerous gorgeously dressed women shuttled back and forth between the crowds on the street. Alcohol and lust were intertwined together, causing one to fall deeply into it and be unable to extricate themselves. What should we do? What do you think we should do? When the 10,000 Kills gang leader recalled the terrifying gaze Yi Chunfeng had shot him before he left, as well as the fact that he was suspected to be from a Holy Land, he couldn't eat or sleep in peace. If he had another chance to choose, he definitely wouldn't have dared to provoke Yi Chunfeng, much less have any ideas about Yu Nikhang. Gang leader, that Yi Chunfeng must be eliminated. Otherwise, he will become the nightmare of our 10,000 killers gang. An old man with a goatee and a gray robe, wearing gold-rimmed glasses, said with a solemn expression. He hadn't expected Yi Chunfeng to be so powerful. He had only used a single day to complete 20 consecutive victories. Moreover, the various hidden cards he had revealed made people suspect that he might have come from a super-holy land of the Xingluo continent. Nonsense, do you think I don't know that I must get rid of him? The leader of the 10,000 kills gang said with a gloomy face. But how do we kill him? If he really comes from the super-holy land of the Xingluo continent, do we dare to kill him? Generally speaking, only forces of the 7th rank and above that had a peerless emperor could be called a holy land. If Yi Chunfeng really came from a holy land, not to mention them, even the overlord of Slaughter City, the king of slaughter, would not dare to offend him. We don't dare to kill him without any scruples, but someone else dares to kill him. The gray-robed elder's eyes shone with a sinister light. Who? Evil cultivators, the gray-robed elder said. When he heard the gray-robed elder say the name, even with the ferocity of the 10,000 kills gang leader, he felt his scalp go numb, and his brows furrowed tightly together. The evil cultivator was a rogue cultivator with a life in Slaughter City. He was also a great devil who killed without batting an eyelid. He was temperamental and had killed countless people. Moreover, he liked to torture and eat the hearts of living people. He was a character that made people feel fear just by hearing his name. Many people in Slaughter City wanted to kill him, but he was a half-step defiant beast king. He had accumulated too much murderous intent in his body, so he was still alive and well after several decades. If the evil path is willing to help, we can indeed get rid of that Yi Chunfeng. But I'm afraid we will have to pay a huge price. The 10,000 kills gang leader said with a frown. Gang leader, we have no way out. If we can't get rid of that Yi Chunfeng, I'm afraid our 10,000 kills gang will be in danger of being exterminated. The gray-robed elder advised, as long as we survive this crisis, we will be able to recoup our losses sooner or later. All right. What do you think can move the evil Dao people? The sect leader of the 10,000 kills sect asked in a low voice. Slaughter points. Only slaughter points can move the evil Dao people, said the gray-robed elder. Take 5,000 slaughter points and ask the evil cultivator to kill Yi Chunfeng. If he thinks it's too little, give him 2 high-grade earth items. The sect leader of the 10,000 kills sect hardened his heart and said with a bit of pain. Compared to high-grade earth items, slaughter points were much more precious. As long as you had enough slaughter points, you could even buy top-grade earth items. Yes, I will contact the evil cultivator. The gray-robed elder nodded and personally went to ask the evil cultivator to deal with Yi Chunfeng. In a gloomy courtyard in the outer city of Slaughter City, bone-chilling wails could be heard from time to time. An old man in a crimson Taoist robe, who had a necklace made of children's skulls around his neck, and whose eyes were sunken into his cheeks, was holding a sharp dagger and stabbing it into the chest of a young man who was tied to a wooden stake and trembling all over. As the young man wailed in pain, he cruelly dug out the young man's beating heart and swallowed it into his stomach with great enjoyment. When the gray-robed elder saw this scene, he immediately felt his scalp go numb and his stomach turn. However, he didn't dare to show the slightest bit of reaction. He suppressed his disgust and fear and stood to the side patiently waiting. Delicious, the heart of a living person is truly delicious. After eating the bloody heart, the evil cultivator revealed an expression of enjoyment. When he licked the blood off his fingers, he looked at the gray-robed elder and said with a hoarse voice, "Your 10,000 kills sect wants to use 5,000 slaughter points to hire me to kill a first-grade mystic beast ancestor brat? Yes. I wonder if Senior has the time?" The gray-robed elder nodded and respectfully said, "Where did that brat come from?" The evil cultivator's sunken eyes shined with a dark light as he asked in a low voice. That person is suspected to be from a holy land. However, this is only our guess and has yet to be confirmed. The gray-robed elder didn't dare to conceal anything and frankly said, "You want to hire me to kill a genius from a holy land for 5,000 slaughter points? Aren't I too cheap?" The evil cultivator's voice suddenly turned cold, causing the gray-robed elder to break out in a cold sweat. "Senior, please calm your anger. My 10,000 kills sect has absolutely no intention of looking down on Senior. It's just that my 10,000 kills sect's expenses are too great and the slaughter points we have accumulated are limited. How about this? Besides the 5,000 slaughter points, I will also give Senior 2 high-grade earthly tools." The gray-robed elder fearfully said, afraid that this temperamental evil cultivator would kill him. "Give me a portrait of the person you want to kill and where he lives. Tomorrow morning, I'll send his head to your 10,000 kills gang." When the corrupt cultivator heard the gray-robed elder raise the price, his expression softened and he spoke in a hoarse voice. "Yes, Senior." The gray-robed elder secretly let out a sigh of relief. He left behind Yi Qinfeng's portrait, 2 high-grade earthly tools, and a black slaughter card with 5,000 slaughter points. Then, he quickly left. "Qingfeng, should we continue the competition tomorrow or go directly to the inner city?" After returning to her room, Yu Nikheng changed into a set of loose clothes and laid down on the soft bed, asking Yi Qinfeng for his opinion. "I plan to obtain the 100 Victories badge and exterminate the 10,000 kills sect before going to the inner city." Yi Qinfeng took a sip of the fragrant tea, his eyes flashing with a sharp light. "Exterminate the 10,000 kills sect? Aren't you afraid of Slaughter City taking revenge? They might be related to Slaughter City." Yu Nikheng worriedly said. "Don't worry, Nikheng. Once the 10,000 kills sect is destroyed, there will immediately be a new power to replace it. Slaughter City will not suffer any losses. Moreover, before they figure out our background, they won't make a move so easily. Also, as long as I can obtain the 100 Victories badge, I will be able to increase my exposure and let more people know about me. This way, even if things get out of hand, Slaughter City will have some misgivings. After all, no matter how deep Slaughter City's background is, it cannot be compared to a holy land." "It seems like you've already planned this." Yu Nikheng revealed a charming smile and said, "Qingfeng, I find that I like you more and more. How about you stay with me tonight?" "Forget it, my small body can't withstand your torment. I'll go outside and cultivate." Seeing the crafty look in Yu Nichang's eyes, Yi Qinfeng knew that she was deliberately teasing him. He suppressed his restless little heart and bitterly smiled. He went outside and sat on a wooden bed. He circulated the 8 Sha Azura technique to condense the death aura that he absorbed during the day and condensed the second killing halo. The night was getting darker and darker. Just as Yi Qinfeng was condensing the second killing halo and gradually condensing the embryonic form of the killing halo, Yi Qinfeng's sharp perception suddenly sensed danger approaching. He opened his tightly closed eyes and his body flashed. Like a ghost, he quietly left the room. Mobile reading website, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 268. It's You. The evil cultivator, who was wearing a red Taoist robe and emitting a strong killing intent, only saw a flash of light in front of him. Yi Qinfeng appeared in front of him. When he saw Yi Qinfeng's face clearly, he was stunned. "You're here to kill me, right?" Although the evil cultivator's aura was very terrifying and seemed to be a half-step reverse Beast King expert, Yi Qinfeng's expression didn't change at all. "Interesting, very interesting. I didn't expect that with your cultivation, you would be able to sense my presence. Not only did you not run, you even dared to come out." The evil cultivator opened his mouth and spoke in a hoarse voice filled with murderous intent. "If you want to kill me, then come with me." After saying that, Yi Chunfeng's body swayed slightly and melted into the darkness, running towards the beaches around Slaughter City at an extremely fast speed. You want to run? Seeing Yi Chunfeng suddenly speed up, the evil cultivator immediately released a powerful aura to lock onto him. He turned into a black shadow and chased after Yi Chunfeng. Soon, Yi Chunfeng led the evil cultivator to a deserted beach. Why aren't you running anymore? The evil cultivator saw Yi Chunfeng suddenly stop running and turn around to wait for him. He frowned and spoke in a hoarse voice. I think this place is not bad. It's very suitable to be your grave. Yi Chunfeng put his hands behind his back and spoke with a murderous aura. Ha ha ha, Xing, do you still not know who I am? Hearing Yi Chunfeng's arrogant words, the evil cultivator laughed as if he had heard the funniest joke in the world. A chilling murderous aura spread out from his body and swept toward Yi Chunfeng. I'm not interested in the identity of a dead person. Yi Chunfeng ignored the evil cultivator's murderous aura and spoke in a domineering manner. Xing, I swear I'll cut open your body bit by bit and let you watch me eat your heart. I'll let you taste all the pain in the world before killing you. The evil cultivator's face darkened as he swore. A sword with a skull embedded in its hilt appeared in his hand. It was 6 feet 6 inches long and covered in dark runes. It was a top-grade earth-grade longsword. Rip! The sound of cloth tearing could be heard. The evil cultivator's sword pierced through the air towards Yi Chunfeng's chest. Yi Chunfeng's eyes widened in shock. Seeing that the evil cultivator's sword was about to pierce through Yi Chunfeng's chest, his body slightly swayed and he instantly transformed into 9 shadows, dodging the attack. Your speed isn't bad. But let me see how many moves you can dodge. The evil cultivator coldly snorted and his murderous aura. He was about to continue to attack. Roar! A high-pitched dragon roar was emitted from Yi Chunfeng's body. Facing the evil cultivator, who was a half-step reverse beast king, Yi Chunfeng decisively integrated the power of the two-headed blood dragon king and raised his strength to the limit of a 6th-level mystic beast grandmaster. Two-headed dragon. Your spiritual beast is actually a mutated two-headed dragon. Seeing Yi Chunfeng's spiritual beast, the two-headed blood dragon king, the evil cultivator's skinny face revealed a trace of surprise. He had lived for nearly 1,000 years, but he had never seen anyone with a dragon as their spiritual beast. Moreover, Yi Chunfeng's spiritual beast was not an ordinary dragon, but a mutated two-headed blood dragon king that had evolved twice. 8 Shah Azura Art. After integrating the power of the two-headed blood dragon king, Yi Chunfeng immediately condensed a killing halo, doubling his attack power. The powerful killing intent made the evil cultivator feel pressured. I didn't expect you to hide so deeply. But I like to kill geniuses like you the most. I think your heart must be delicious. The evil cultivator, who had been wandering between life and death all year round, quickly returned to normal. A black snake was hovering above his head. I'm afraid you won't have the chance. After saying that, a terrifying soul power completely erupted from Yi Chunfeng's body. As he took a step forward, a large amount of sand filled the air, and a warship faster than the speed of light slashed towards the evil cultivator. Evil Sky Slash! The evil cultivator's pupils shrank. The skeleton sword in his hand surged with demonic aura. The sword pierced through the night and shattered Yi Chunfeng's warship. They fought fiercely on the vast beach. Boom! 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 A series of deafening explosions rang out. Yi Chunfeng and the evil cultivator fought fast and did not give way to each other. The fierce attacks stirred up a terrifying storm. Countless warships lit up the dark night sky, illuminating the beach within a radius of several miles as if it was daytime. 4 Slaughter Styles, Remnant Blood. After fighting fiercely for an incense stick's worth of time, a terrifying killing intent surged out from Yi Chunfeng's body. Perfect sword force, 350,000 gene of strength poured into the gigantic fault heavenly sword. Under the double amplification of the slaughter halo, a blood-red warship was slashed out towards the evil cultivator. Evil Sky Cross Slash. The evil cultivator roared. A large amount of demonic aura and soul power fused together, forming two intersecting crosses, forcibly blocking the remnant blood attack. Apricot, the game is over. After neutralizing the 4 slaughter styles, the evil cultivator spat out more than 10 mouthfuls of blood mist. A large amount of blood mist quickly condensed, forming a large blood-red net that enveloped Yi Chenfeng, wanting to trap him inside. This lousy move is your trump card? Yi Chenfeng was not flustered by the net formed by the evil cultivator's blood mist. Instead, he mocked. You're about to die, yet you're still so stubborn. Die for me. The evil cultivator's eyes emitted dense killing intent. The evil Sky Cross Slash once again slashed out, whistling towards Yi Chenfeng, wanting to split him into 4. Green Spirit Fire, break the net. At the crucial moment, the green spirit fire surged out of Yi Chenfeng's body, instantly melting the net that bound him, restoring his mobility. Eternal Night. In the next moment, a high-pitched dragon's roar resounded from Yi Chenfeng's body. An extremely sharp black warship that could swallow heaven and earth slashed out, cutting through all obstacles. Wherever the warship passed, it left behind a deep sword mark. The entire beach seemed to have been split apart by Yi Chenfeng's sword. Rumble. The two powerful soul skills clashed together, as if a heavenly thunder had exploded. A powerful energy storm surged out in all directions like a tidal wave, causing huge waves to rise. Spirit Fire, you actually subdued a ball of spirit fire. Seeing the green spirit fire burning on the surface of Yi Chenfeng's body, the evil cultivator's heart trembled. He realized that Yi Chenfeng was far more difficult to deal with than he had imagined. Furthermore, he had fused with his spiritual beast, the two-headed Blood Dragon King, and his strength was not weaker than his own. Purple Spiritual Lightning. The Eternal Night warship broke through the evil cultivator's attack. The extremely destructive purple spiritual lightning and the ancient cold mysterious ice that was comparable to heavenly water both surged out of Yi Chenfeng's body and attacked the evil cultivator. Heavenly water and heavenly lightning. How did you do it? It was already very heaven-defying for an ordinary person to subdue a single heavenly treasure. However, Yi Chenfeng had subdued 3 heavenly treasures at once. Furthermore, these 3 heavenly treasures did not restrain or restrict each other in his body. This set off a huge wave in the evil cultivator's heart, and he wanted to retreat. Blood Chi Burn, Demonic Wind, 13 Swords. Relying on his powerful strength to resist the attacks of the ancient cold mysterious ice and purple spiritual lightning, the evil cultivator didn't hesitate to burn his blood chi to increase his strength to the greatest extent. He slashed out 13 swords at Yi Chenfeng. The 13 warships were like a surging tide, continuous and unending. Each wave of attacks was stronger than the last, sweeping towards Yi Chenfeng in a final struggle. The evil cultivator burned his blood chi to display the demonic wind 13 swords. Yi Chenfeng didn't dodge. The green spirit fire, purple spiritual lightning, and profound cold spirit water surged out of his body. Under the control of the primal chaos divine wood, they quickly fused together, forming a ball of light filled with destructive power. As for the fusion of these 3 heavenly treasures, he had simulated it tens of thousands of times in his mind during his free time. With the help of the God-Eater brain and the primal chaos divine wood, he had created it himself. He named it the Fury of God's Punishment. Although Yi Chenfeng was a little unfamiliar with using the Fury of God's Punishment for the first time, the energy formed by the fusion of the 3 heavenly treasures was too terrifying. It was as if the end of the world had arrived, fluctuating and distorting the air. The terrifying destructive energy was like the boundless power of God's punishment. It destroyed wave after wave of the demonic wind 13 swords and bombarded the evil cultivator's body under the horrified gaze of the evil cultivator. Boom! A loud sound rang out. The space seemed to have collapsed, and a large hole appeared on the beach. More than half of the evil cultivator's body was destroyed by Yi Chunfeng's self-created fury of God's punishment, and a large amount of blood spurted out. His entire body flew backward for several thousand meters before landing heavily on the beach. He was almost out of breath. Soul-devouring art, devour. Before the evil cultivator died, Yi Chunfeng used the soul-devouring art and devoured the spirit beast that was beginning to dissipate in his mind, ending his evil life. After killing the evil cultivator, Yi Chunfeng immediately took his belongings and left before the experts of Slaughter City arrived. For mobile users, please visit /Mpiatia, remember the URL. Sanwu Chinese Network. Chapter 269. 100 Victories Emblem. Qingfeng, is there trouble? When Yi Chunfeng, who was emitting a faint smell of blood, stepped into the dark night and returned to the green bamboo residence, Moon Raiment, who was wearing a loose nightgown and was barefooted and had long black hair casually draped over her shoulders, giving people the feeling that she was holding a pipa and covering her face, asked softly. Yi Chunfeng nodded and said, "Yes, it should be an expert invited by the 10,000 Kills gang, but I dealt with him. Qingfeng, I've prepared a bath for you. Go wash up quickly, the smell of blood on your body is too disgusting." Eunuch Hang was like a newlywed wife as she personally helped Yi Chunfeng take off his outer robes. Okay. Yi Chunfeng nodded and went to the bathroom. He took off his blood-stained clothes and soaked himself in the hot bathtub. His entire body and mind felt very relaxed, and the murderous aura on his body gradually dissipated. In this relaxed state, Yi Chunfeng quickly entered a state of meditation. The soul-devouring art circulated faster and faster, quickly refining the evil path's spirit beast. The evil path's spirit beast was a half-step defiant beast king, so his spirit beast contained powerful soul force. Soon, Yi Chunfeng's spirit beast was overflowing with soul force. His foundation was incomparably solid, and his spirit beast, the two-headed blood dragon king, was comparable to a half-step defiant beast king. Boom! In the state of meditation, Yi Chunfeng's body trembled. His overflowing spirit force directly broke through the bottleneck, breaking through to the second-rank profound beast ancestor realm. His physical strength also increased slightly, reaching 700,000 jin. I broke through. Feeling his spirit power increase, Yi Chunfeng opened his eyes. He felt that with his current strength, he could definitely contend against a first-rank defiant beast king. After breaking through, Yi Chunfeng left the cold tub and took out a set of clothes from his spatial ring. After putting them on, he went outside to check his gains from killing the evil path's spirit beast. These are slaughter points? When he checked the evil cultivator's belongings, he found 18,000 slaughter points in his identity token. This corrupt cultivator is very rich. He actually has so many slaughter points. Yi Chunfeng was well aware of the value of slaughter points. With 18,000 slaughter points, he could purchase at least 3 top-grade Earth-grade artifacts. Other than his slaughter points, Yi Chunfeng had also obtained the Evil Spatial Slash, a high-grade Heaven-class soul skill, 2 top-grade Earth-class soul weapons, 8 high-grade Earth-class soul weapons, more than 300,000 mid-grade soul crystals, close to 100 million low-grade soul crystals, and a large number of spiritual pills. What is this? At the end of the inspection, Yi Chunfeng found a jade box sealed with a large number of runes in the Qiankuan bag. When he broke the seal of the jade box, a powerful killing intent was released from the jade box. 4 slaughter stones. Looking at the black stones inside the jade box filled with slaughter energy, Yi Chunfeng was pleasantly surprised. In addition to the slaughter stone he obtained earlier, he now had 5 slaughter stones. This was enough to increase the quality of his titanic fault heavenly sword. In 3 days at most, I want to achieve 100 consecutive victories. After putting all of the evil cultivator's belongings into his spatial ring, Yi Chunfeng looked at the faint light outside the window and spoke with determination. What? Yi Chunfeng brought that beauty to the slaughter field and continued to fight, but the corrupt cultivator disappeared. The 10,000 Kills gang leader walked out of the room with a rosy and tender beauty in his arms. The gray-robed old man who had been waiting outside immediately came forward and told him a piece of important news. "Are you sure you didn't see wrong? That Yi Chunfeng didn't die." The 10,000 Kills gang leader felt as if a bolt of lightning had struck him. His body swayed and his good mood was gone. "I didn't see wrong. That Yi Chunfeng just won 3 consecutive victories and is in the limelight. I've been trying to contact the corrupt cultivator, but I couldn't get in touch with him," the gray-robed old man said in fear. "How could this be? Could it be that the corrupt cultivator failed to kill him and was killed by him instead?" Thinking about how the corrupt cultivator couldn't kill Yi Chunfeng even with the strength of a half-step defiant beast king, the 10,000 Kills gang leader felt more and more uneasy. Large amounts of cold sweat appeared on his forehead. "Gang leader, do you think someone is secretly protecting him and killing the corrupt cultivator?" Seeing the 10,000 Kills gang leader's serious expression, the gray-robed old man guessed. "That Yi Chunfeng definitely has an expert secretly protecting him. We've provoked a huge problem. An expert that can kill the corrupt cultivator can kill us like chickens. He most likely comes from the Xingluo continent's Holy Land, and he's also a peak genius of that Holy Land." The 10,000 Kills gang leader was at a loss. The more he thought about it, the more afraid he became. "Go. Bring 20,000 slaughter points, 2 high-grade earth items, and a bottle of jade milk. Come with me to the killing field and wait for Yi Chunfeng. No matter what price we have to pay, we have to eliminate his hostility toward us." The 10,000 Kills gang leader steeled his heart and quietly ordered. If they hadn't provoked Yi Chunfeng's Su Qi, Lu Tong would have died without a doubt. The 10,000 Kills gang leader wished he could pull out their corpses and grind their bones to dust. Too fierce. That Yi Chunfeng is too fierce. Without using his spirit beast, he won 29 consecutive victories. If things continue like this, he really might be able to obtain the 100 victory badge. That's right. In addition to yesterday's win streak, he has already won 49 consecutive victories. Who can stop him from advancing? Seeing Yi Chunfeng cleanly defeat his 19th opponent, the ring-shaped spectator stands continuously let out cries of surprise. There were even some young and beautiful girls who were completely conquered by his strength, cheering for him without emotion. Yi Chen's unstoppable momentum allowed him to obtain 19 consecutive victories. Moon Raymond also obtained 10 consecutive victories, obtaining 100 slaughter points. I wonder how strong my next opponent will be. Yi Chunfeng stood in the martial arena with a high fighting spirit, patiently waiting for his 50th opponent. Elder Tan, that Yi Chunfeng has already won 49 consecutive victories. According to the rules, we'll have to arrange for our people to stop his next opponent. Let's do it according to the rules of the killing field. We can't break the rules because of him. Moreover, it's time to dampen his spirit, Elder Tan said with a gloomy expression. He didn't think that Yi Chunfeng's strength would be so terrifying. He had only used 2 days to complete 49 consecutive victories. It's here. Yi Chunfeng proudly stood in the martial arena, patiently waiting for half an incense stick of time. His keen perception sensed that a ruthless aura had appeared and locked onto him. Looking towards the source of the ruthless aura, Yi Chunfeng saw a man with dark skin and bronze armor appear. He looked like a wild beast. Soaring Wolf, that Yi Chunfeng's opponent is actually the level 6 profound beast ancestor, Soaring Wolf, who has a 68 consecutive victories. This match is going to be exciting. I wonder if that Yi Chunfeng can defeat Soaring Wolf and obtain 50 consecutive victories. Since you've met me, your winning streak will end. Soaring Wolf's sharp eyes shot out a ruthless light. He looked at Yi Chunfeng as if he was looking at a prey. Is that so? Yi Chunfeng's lips curled up. He tyrannically said, "If I can't defeat you in one move, I admit defeat." What? Did I hear wrong? That Yi Chunfeng said he could defeat Soaring Wolf in one move. Too arrogant. That Yi Chunfeng is too arrogant. He thinks he is a peerless king. Not necessarily. I don't think that Yi Chunfeng is a reckless person. Maybe he can really create a miracle. Just as Yi Chunfeng's words fell, the entire stands exploded. However, the majority of people didn't think that he could defeat the level 6 profound beast ancestor Soaring Wolf in one move. You're courting death. Hearing Yi Chunfeng's disdainful words, Lang Ting was enraged. The image of a black wolf appeared around his body, and a violent soul force erupted from his body like a volcano. Wolf Phantom annihilates the heavens. Soaring Wolf roared. Several black wolf phantoms separated from his body. They carried a killing intent as they attacked Yi Chunfeng. When Soaring Wolf launched his thunderous attack, ancient profound ice, green spirit fire, and purple spirit lightning rushed out of Yi Chunfeng's body. Wrath of God's punishment. The fusion of the three great spiritual items formed a destructive energy that distorted a large area of space. It was like the power of divine punishment that shocked the heavens and enraged the earth. It bombarded the several black wolf shadows that were violently attacking. Rumble, 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 as the two powerful energies collided, it was like a thunderclap. The heavens and earth changed color, and the earth trembled. The terrifying energy directly shattered the shadows of the black wolves, and swept towards the frightened Lang Ting like a tornado. Feeling the terrifying power of Yi Chunfeng's attack, Soaring Wolf used all of his abilities to try and neutralize it. However, the energy formed by the wrath of God's punishment surpassed his imagination. Purring! Soaring Wolf, who had nowhere to dodge, was struck by the wrath of God's punishment. The bronze armor on his body was immediately shattered. His mangled body was like a kite with a broken string. He fell off the stage. It was unknown whether he was dead or alive. Mobile reading website, book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click Save at the bottom to record this book. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 270. Xiaoxue One Move. That Yi Chunfeng really defeated the level 6 mystic beast ancestor Lang Ting with just one move. No, that can't be called a defeat. It's an instant kill. Which great power nurtured this freak Yi Chunfeng? His attack power is too terrifying. After witnessing the shocking scene and seeing Lang Ting lying in a pool of his own blood, the noisy slaughterhouse fell silent. Pairs of dazed eyes shot towards Yi Chunfeng. Almost everyone was convinced by his attack power. Let's stop here for today. Nick Heng, let's go back. After defeating Lang Ting in one move, Yi Chunfeng did not make another move. Under the respectful gazes of the crowd, he left with you Nick Heng. Yi Chunfeng. In an inconspicuous corner of the slaughterhouse's spectator stands sat a young man in a blood-red robe. He had a square face and sharp eyebrows. His aura was turbid and his eyes were like lightning. He was staring at Yi Chunfeng's departing figure, revealing a strong desire to fight. This blood-robed man was called Xiaoxue. He was very famous in the slaughterhouse because he was currently the only expert with a 19 to 18 consecutive victories. He was only one step away from the 100 victories emblem. Young Master Yi, may I have a word with you? Yi Chunfeng and Yu Nikhang were just about to leave the slaughterhouse when the 10,000 Kills gang leader and the others quickly walked over and asked politely. After witnessing the shocking scene just now, the 10,000 Kills gang leader was scared out of his wit. Other than fear, there was only fear in his heart. He could only beg Yi Chunfeng to spare them. What do I have to say to you? Yi Chunfeng looked coldly at the 10,000 Kills gang leader and the others and asked coldly. Young Master Yi, it was all our fault. We failed to recognize Mount Tai and offended you. Now that we have repented, we only ask that young Master Yi give us a chance to turn over a new leaf. The 10,000 Kills gang leader put down his arrogance and begged Yi Qinfeng to spare them. Spare you? The corners of Yi Qinfeng's lips curled up slightly and he said coldly, Why should I spare you? Young Master Yi, as long as you're willing to spare me, I'm willing to give you 20,000 slaughter points, 2 high-grade Earth-tier artifacts, and a bottle of milk jade, the 10,000 Kills gang leader said fearfully, cold sweat dripping down his back. 20,000 slaughter points? Aren't your lives too worthless? Although Yi Qinfeng knew that 20,000 slaughter points was already a lot, he didn't want to let them off so easily. Thus, he said without a trace of emotion, Young Master Yi, I wonder what it will take for you to release us? As long as you say it, my 10,000 Kills gang will definitely satisfy you. In order to survive, the 10,000 Kills gang leader was willing to go all out. High-grade Earth-grade tools are useless to me. How about this? Give me 50,000 slaughter points and 2 bottles of jade essence, and I'll let you all go. I won't cause you any more trouble. Yi Qinfeng demanded an exorbitant price. 50,000 slaughter points. Hearing Yi Qinfeng's request, the 10,000 Kills gang leader felt as if a sharp blade had been stabbed into his soft heart, causing it to bleed. Although he could gather 50,000 slaughter points from all over the place, without these 50,000 slaughter points, his 10,000 kill gang would suffer a great loss to their strength and vitality. What? You don't agree? Yi Qinfeng looked at the hesitant 10,000 Kills gang leader, his face darkening. No, I agree to young Master Ye's request. But 50,000 slaughter points is not a small number. I need to find a way to help young Master Yi. As the 10,000 Kills gang leader met Yi Qinfeng's gaze, his heart trembled. He hurriedly said, In 3 days at the latest, I will give you 50,000 slaughter points and 2 bottles of milk jade to young Master Yi. Good, I'll give you 3 days. If I don't see 50,000 slaughter points in 3 days, I will wash your 10,000 Kills gang in blood. After saying this, Yi Qinfeng no longer paid any attention to the 10,000 Kills gang leader and the others. He left with a charming smile on his face. Yu Nikhang. Qingfeng, are you really going to let them go? Yu Nikhang asked in a soft voice. She tightly held onto Yi Qinfeng's arm as she looked at his chiseled face. Slaughter points are extremely important to us. If they can gather 50,000 slaughter points and give it to me, then I will let them go. Yi Qinfeng nodded. With his and the sword puppet's strength, slaughtering the 10,000 Kills gang would be as easy as blowing off dust. But he wasn't sure if his fabricated identity would be able to intimidate Slaughter City. Thus, extorting 50,000 slaughter points from the 10,000 Kills gang was the best choice right now. Not long after Yi Qinfeng and Yu Nikhang left, the entire martial arena was thrown into a frenzy once more. Xiahou Shuya, who had already obtained 98 consecutive victories, stepped onto the stage once more. And his opponent was someone that Elder Tan had specially arranged. This was a dual soul and body cultivator with a formidable physical strength. His strength neared the boundary of a half-step reverse beast king, and his body was covered with strange totems. This bald man had defeated geniuses with 90 consecutive victories more than 10 times before. He was extremely famous in the slaughter arena. Seeing him step onto the stage, the entire martial arena was in an uproar. Boom! A powerful baleful aura emanated from the bald man's body. He held a heavy axe in his hand and aggressively chopped at Xiahou Shu. Weak, your strength is too weak. Although the bald man's axe slashed through the air with astonishing offensive power, it was full of holes in Xiahou Shui's eyes. His body flashed slightly, and like a gust of wind, he easily dodged the powerful axe beam attack. In the next moment, a spear aura that made the bald man feel fear gushed out from Xiahou Shui's body. It locked onto him, causing all the hair on his body to stand on end. 70% spear aura break. A cold voice rang out. A 9 feet 9 inches long blood-red spear appeared in Xiahou Shui's hand. It was a supreme-grade, earth-tier-long spear. Like a dragon emerging from the sea, it whistled as it pierced towards the bald man. Sensing danger, the bald man reacted instinctively. However, Xiahou Xue's spear was too fast, and its power was terrifying. The spear struck the huge axe that the bald man had hurriedly placed in front of his chest. A powerful rebounding force passed through the huge axe and into his body, causing him to spit out blood and retreat continuously. Gaining the upper hand with his spear, Xiahou Xue did not give the bald man any chance to catch his breath. His spear was faster than the previous as he stabbed out continuously. The spear aura completely enveloped the bald man, causing him to be unable to retaliate. His body was covered in bloody wounds. Strong. This Xiahou Xue is too terrifying. I wonder who is stronger between Yi Chenfeng and Xiahou Xue. It's really hard to say. We'll only know after the battle. However, I'm afraid they won't have the chance to meet in the outer city of the slaughter arena. Witnessing Xiahou Xue completely suppressing the bald man, the atmosphere in the slaughter arena reached a climax once again. Blood slaughter axe. The bald man, who was completely at a disadvantage, roared. His powerful physical strength exploded. He gripped the heavy axe tightly with both hands and chopped at Xiahou Xue with a force that could split a mountain. Just as Xiahou Xue was about to be struck by the bald man's blood slaughter axe, the sound of air being torn apart suddenly rang out. The blood-red spear in Xiahou Xue's hand turned into a spear aura that pierced towards the bald man's throat before the blood slaughter axe could land. Chi. The bald man's defenses were broken, and his throat was pierced through by Xiahou Xue's lightning-fast spear. His widened eyes slowly lost their luster, and large amounts of blood spurted out, dyeing the ground red. Xiahou Xue had defeated the bald man with an overwhelming advantage, and obtained 99 consecutive victories. However, he did not continue in a spurt of energy to challenge the record of 100 consecutive victories. Instead, he ended the day's battles. Yi Chenfeng, I hope you won't make me wait too long. Xiahou Xue revealed a demonic smile as he muttered to himself. He wanted to step on Yi Chenfeng's corpse and achieve his record of 100 consecutive victories. He wanted to announce to everyone that he was the strongest. Mobile reading home, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blogs, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 271. Blood Ape Bloodline, Phew. The second killing halo is finally about to be condensed. After refining the death chi absorbed into his body, Yi Chenfeng felt that he would soon be able to cultivate to the second layer of the 8-Sha Azura technique and condense the second killing halo. Once he condensed the second killing halo, his attacking power would increase by 2 times, and a full power attack would be enough to injure an ordinary king. The next morning, Yi Chenfeng and Yu Nikhang left the green bamboo house and arrived at the slaughterhouse once more. After seeing Yi Chenfeng use the wrath of divine punishment and instantly kill Lang Ting, the unfortunate opponents all chose to admit defeat. In less than a morning, Yi Chenfeng's winning streak had reached 81 matches, obtaining a total of 600 slaughter points. Yi Chenfeng, you indeed did not disappoint me. Looks like we will be able to fight tomorrow. Xiahou Xue, who was wearing a blood-red robe, sat among the crowd and drank a mouthful of blood-red liquid. He looked at Yi Chenfeng with a high battle intent and revealed a demonic smile. With his extraordinary background, he loved to personally destroy peerless geniuses and step on their corpses to reach the peak of martial arts. This was also the reason why he wanted to duel with Yi Chenfeng. He wanted to destroy Yi Chenfeng with his own hands and add a thick stroke to his own martial path experience. Elder Tan, that Yi Chenfeng has already obtained 81 consecutive victories, and no one is willing to fight him anymore. If this continues, he and Xiahou Xue will both obtain the 100 victory emblem. Yi Qinfeng's momentum was unstoppable. When he obtained 81 consecutive victories, someone immediately reported this news to Elder Tan. No one is willing to fight him. Then arrange for our people to go up and give him 99 victories. After witnessing Yi Qinfeng's terrifying talent and strength, Elder Tan knew that it would be very difficult for him to stop him from advancing, so he ordered in a low voice. Yi Qinfeng, Xiaohoshuya, I really want to know who will have the last laugh. Elder Tan's deep eyes shone brightly. He was looking forward to the battle between the two of them. Interesting, very interesting. Perhaps we will be able to fight today. Seeing Yi Qinfeng's opponents concede one after another, and seeing Yi Qinfeng's winning streak continue to increase, Xiaohoshuya revealed a cold smile. What's going on? Why are they all conceding? I came especially to watch Yi Qinfeng's match. Refund my money. Refund my money. I didn't spend my money to watch him concede. As all of Yi Qinfeng's opponents admitted defeat, the entire spectator stands became noisy. Complaints, insults, and shouts could be heard incessantly. Soon, Yi Qinfeng's winning streak, and so quickly, Yi Qinfeng's winning streak to reach 99 consecutive victories. I'm finally going to aim for 100 victories. I wonder how strong my next opponent will be. Standing proudly in the center of the arena, Yi Qinfeng's heart was as calm as still water as he listened to the surrounding noise. He patiently waited for his final opponent to appear. He had a feeling that the slaughterhouse would not let him obtain the 100-victory emblem so easily. His final opponent was probably not simple. Yi Qinfeng, do you need to rest? I can give you some time to rest. Just as Yi Qinfeng was patiently waiting, Xiaohoshuya finished drinking the blood-like liquid in one gulp and slowly stood up. His clanging words were like cannonballs, exploding in everyone's ears. No need. Yi Qinfeng looked at Xiaohoshuya, and his pupils immediately shrank into the most dangerous pinholes. He could sense a strong sense of danger from Xiaohoshuya's tyrannical eyes. Since that's the case, let's fight. As he spoke, Xiaohoshuya leapt up, leaving a blood-red streak of light in the air. With a sharp killing intent, he appeared in the arena at an extremely fast speed. Feeling the killing intent that Xiaohoshuya deliberately released, Yi Qinfeng was like a boulder. He stood in place without moving, and there was not the slightest change in expression on his face. My favorite thing in life is to step on the corpses of geniuses. Also, remember my name. I'm Xiaohoshuya. Xiaohoshuya held the blood-red spear in his hand and pointed it at Yi Qinfeng as he spoke with a high fighting spirit. You're really boring. Hearing Xiaohoshuya's arrogant provocation, Yi Qinfeng's heart did not ripple at all as he spoke indifferently. Although Xiaohoshuya was very strong, there was still a certain gap between his strength and that of an evil cultivator. Yi Qinfeng did not take him to heart. Yi Qinfeng versus Xiaohoshuya. This slaughterhouse is really scheming. They actually let these two people with 99 consecutive victories fight at the last moment. I wonder who will be able to step on the other's corpse and obtain the 100 victories emblem. No matter what, this battle will be unprecedentedly exciting. This money was well spent. Looking at the two proud figures standing there, almost everyone's eyes were attracted to them, and the entire stands became noisy. Yi Qinfeng, I'll let you know who is the real king here. As he spoke, Xiaohoshuya's fighting spirit rose to the peak. An unparalleled fighting spirit spread out like a tide, then spread again and again, attacking Yi Qinfeng's heart. Affected by the fighting spirit released by Xiaohoshuya, Yi Qinfeng's pupils shrank. The 8 Sha Azura technique involuntarily circulated, and the killing intent accumulated in his blood and bones erupted from his body, instantly tearing apart Xiaohoshuya's fighting spirit. The previously noisy viewing platform was also affected by Yi Qinfeng's killing intent. The atmosphere was unprecedentedly stifling. Yi Qinfeng, you are indeed a good opponent. Feeling the killing intent released by Yi Qinfeng, Xiaohoshuya's deep eyes flashed with a cold light. The blood-red spear pierced through the air, piercing towards Yi Qinfeng's chest at an astonishing speed. Shifting shadows. A light flashed under Yi Qinfeng's feet, and he instantly transformed into 9 fast afterimages, dodging Xiahou Xueye's spear attack. Swish, swish, swish. After Yi Qinfeng dodged the attack, Xiahou Xueye quickly turned around, instantly creating dozens of spear shadows that enveloped the rapidly dodging Yi Qinfeng. 350,000 kilograms of force, collapsing cloud palm. Unable to dodge, Yi Qinfeng roared. His powerful physical strength poured into his right arm, and an unparalleled cloud-piercing palm light shot out. Wherever it went, the air exploded and the airflow surged. The palm light, which was compressed to the extreme, directly destroyed the incoming spear light. What powerful strength! Feeling the destructive power of the collapsing cloud palm, Xiahou Xueye's expression changed slightly. The spear, which was filled with explosive power, pierced through the collapsing cloud palm and continued to attack Yi Qinfeng. Spear aura. Feeling the spear aura of Xiahou Xueye's spear, Yi Qinfeng immediately took out his titanic fault heavenly sword to meet it. A powerful killing aura surged out of the killing halo, continuously increasing Yi Qinfeng's attack power. Buzz! The tip of the sword and spear collided, creating ripples of energy. Dense water ripples appeared in the air. Bam bam! Taking Yi Qinfeng's perfect sword aura head-on, Xiahou Xueye, who also did not fuse with his spiritual beast, was forced back. The blood and qi in his body churned violently. You're just SOSO. Looking at Xiahou Xueye, whose breathing was chaotic and hurried, Yi Qinfeng revealed a faint smile and mocked him. Yi Qinfeng, I'll let you know my true strength soon. Xiahou Xueye sucked in a deep breath and suppressed the surging qi and blood in his body. A blood-red, muscular blood ape appeared behind him. It bared its fangs and let out a hiss. When Xiahou Xueye fused with the sanguine ape, a powerful bloodline power was emitted from Xiahou Xueye's body. His strength increased again, almost reaching the level of a level 1 defiant beast king. Bloodline power. Xiahou Xueye actually has the sanguine ape's bloodline flowing in his body. Looks like this match is going to end early. Looking at Xiahou Xueye, whose sanguine ape's bloodline had been completely activated and whose strength had increased explosively, the spectators on the viewing platform exclaimed. At this moment, no one thought highly of Yi Qinfeng anymore. The development of the match had also been reversed because of Xiahou Xueye's sanguine ape bloodline. Mobile reading website, book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open your bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 272. The Ultimate Showdown, Yi Qinfeng, just you wait to be ravaged by me. Xiahou Xueye glared with his blood-red eyes as he spoke with a murderous intent. His terrifying baleful aura made one feel as if their guts were about to explode. What? You're so confident now that you've awakened your blood-ape bloodline? Sensing Xiahou Xueye's explosive increase in strength, Yi Qinfeng remained unmoved. Endless blood light shot out from his body, and a high-pitched dragon's roar rang out, reverberating throughout the 9 heavens. In the next moment, the double-headed Blood Dragon King appeared on Yi Qinfeng's body. Its 3,000-meter-long body hovered above his head. Its terrifying draconic might shocked everyone present, causing the noisy martial arena to become absolutely silent. Many weak martial artists felt the dragon aura emitted by the 2-headed Blood Dragon King, and were so scared that their faces turned pale and their breathing became difficult. Gu Dragon. Yi Qinfeng's spiritual beast is actually a 2-headed dragon. This is too frightening. I thought that Xiahou Xueye, who possessed the blood-ape bloodline, had a very deep foundation. Who would have thought that Yi Qinfeng's foundation was even deeper than his? I am really looking forward to this battle. Quick, gather 50,000 slaughter points as soon as possible. Once the competition is over, Give it to that Yi Qinfeng. When the 10,000 kills sect master saw Yi Qinfeng's spirit beast, the last strand of hope in his heart was shattered. He hurriedly took out his communication bead and urged anxiously. In his opinion, it was impossible for Yi Qinfeng, who had the two-headed blood dragon king, to fail. He only wanted to give the slaughter points to Yi Qinfeng as soon as possible and resolve the grudges between them. Yi Qinfeng, you are giving me more and more surprises. But this is for the best. Only by killing a genius like you can I show my strength. After regaining his senses, Xiahou Shuya once again erupted with a powerful battle intent. His blood-ape bloodline was completely activated, and waves of violent energy were released from his body. Heavenly Flood Dragon Spear Art. Piercing out with his spear, Xiahou Shuya's entire body turned into a beam of blood light. The endless spear light gathered into a blood-colored flood dragon, thrusting towards Yi Qinfeng's chest. When Xiahou Shuya executed the Heavenly Flood Dragon Spear Art, Yi Qinfeng instantly fused with the double-headed Blood Dragon King, raising his strength to the half-step Reverse Beast King realm. His sword force was perfected, and he gathered 350,000 gene of force into the Titanic Fault Heavenly Sword. Fourth style of slaughter, Savage Blood. A crescent-shaped sword light slashed down, leaving behind a deep sword scar in the air. The sword light was like the gathering of blood, and it directly broke through Xiahou Shuya's Heavenly Flood Dragon Spear Art. Heaven Artifact. That's a heaven artifact in your hand. Sensing the power contained within the Titanic Fault Heavenly Sword, Xiahou Shuya's expression finally changed. A solemn look appeared on his face. His spiritual beast was inferior to Yi Qinfeng's, and his physical strength was inferior to Yi Qinfeng's. Now, even his weapon was inferior to Yi Qinfeng's. This made Xiahou Shuya feel pressured for the first time. However, after wandering between life and death for so many years, Xiahou Shuya had an unyielding will. Under such immense pressure, Xiahou Shuya became even more courageous. He raised his speed to the limit, and his lightning-fast spear light continuously attacked Yi Qinfeng, wanting to suppress Yi Qinfeng's attack. What a fast spear speed! I really don't know how Xiahou Shuya trained his spear. His spear speed is actually so fast. I wonder how Yi Qinfeng is going to resolve Xiahou Shuya's rapid spear light. Once his attacks are suppressed, it will be difficult for him to turn the tables. Seeing Yi Qinfeng being enveloped by Xiahou Shuya's continuous spear light, many of the spectators who were optimistic about him broke out in a cold sweat. Yi Qinfeng, the match can end now. After forcing Yi Qinfeng to the edge of the arena, Xiahou Shuya wanted to defeat him in one go. As for killing him, Xiahou Shuya no longer had any extravagant hope. Not necessarily. Yi Qinfeng's eyes narrowed. A vast killing aura surged out from the killing halo, doubling Yi Qinfeng's attack power. A sword light that stole the surrounding brilliance shot out from the Titanic Fault Heavenly Sword. Eternal Night. As the sword pierced out, the entire arena seemed to have turned into night. Other than a rapidly flying sword light, nothing else could be seen. TSK. The spear shadows that enveloped Yi Qinfeng were torn apart by the unstoppable Eternal Night sword light. The terrifying sword light struck the spear in Xiahou Shuya's hand at a speed that was hard to see with the naked eye. The powerful recoil caused his arm to go numb, and he was forced to retreat. He almost lost his grip on the blood-colored spear. After breaking through Xiahou Shuya's fierce attack, Yi Qinfeng immediately counterattacked. A faint light flashed under his feet, and his entire body twisted as he rapidly closed in on Xiahou Shuya. Blood Flood Dragon shattering the sea. As Yi Qinfeng pressed forward, Xiahou Shuya let out an explosive roar. The spear in his hand turned into a blood flood dragon that bared its fangs and brandished its claws. Boundless killing intent and blood light intertwined as if doomsday had arrived. Massacre 4th Style Demon Slayer. Yi Qinfeng did not dodge Xiahou Shuya's attack. Instead, he slashed out with the Demon Slayer's sword light to meet it head-on. As the two exchanged blows faster and faster, their attacks became more and more intense. A powerful energy storm formed in the martial arena, and terrifying explosions rang out incessantly like thunder. Xiahou Shuya had used all his abilities, but he was still unable to suppress Yi Chunfeng. He knew that he could only use his ultimate trump card, the innate ability of his bloodline ape. Otherwise, if the battle dragged on, he would very likely be defeated. Berserk. The bloodline ape surged within Xiahou Shuya's body as waves of berserk energy erupted from his body. After using the innate ability of the bloodline ape, Xiahou Shuya's entire body grew stronger, filled with explosive power. His strength had also increased greatly, allowing him to nearly possess the strength of a rank 1 beast king. Die! Xiahou Shuya's eyes were bloodshot as he let out a roar. He thrust out his spear as fast as lightning. His berserk soul power was like a whirlpool that revolved around the tip of the spear, stirring up the air and leaving behind a deep scar. Massacre 4th style, remnant blood. Although the berserk Xiahou Shuya was very frightening, Yi Chunfeng still did not dodge his attack. Instead, he met the attack head-on with his most powerful stance. The power of slaughter, the perfect sword aura, and the strength of 700,000 Jin fused together, forming a thick blood-red color. The blood-red sword light covered the entire sky as it smashed forward like a bloody storm. Rumble! The two powerful forces collided, forming a destructive force. Like a surging tide, it shook the entire arena's hard ground until it was covered with crisscrossing cracks. Too strong, these two are too strong. The power they just erupted with has probably reached the level of a rank 1 beast king. Compared to Xiahou Shuya, that Yi Chunfeng is simply a freak. He's only a rank 2 profound beast ancestor, yet he can erupt with the power of a peerless king. Even in the massacre inner city, it's hard to find such a peerless genius. Seeing the intense exchange between the two, the spectators were completely convinced by their strength. Instant kill sword. Relying on the defense of the Blood Dragon King armor to resist the destructive storm, Yi Chunfeng forcefully stabilized his body. His entire body immediately fused with the gigantic Fault Heavenly Sword, turning into an extremely thin sword light that pierced towards Xiahou Shuya with astonishing speed. Xiahou Shuya didn't expect Yi Chunfeng's sword to be so fast. He didn't dodge, and a deep sword wound appeared on his chest. A large amount of blood spurted out uncontrollably, splattering on the ground and staining the ground. After injuring Xiahou Shuya with a single sword strike, Yi Chunfeng followed up with another attack. Wave after wave of attacks completely suppressed Xiahou Shuya, exhausting the bloodline power he had activated. Once Xiahou Shuya's bloodline power was exhausted, he would be powerless to reverse the situation. Mobile reading site, book address. To make it easier for you to read it next time, you can click on the Save button below to record your reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 273. Xiahou Shuya dead. Bloodape Bloodline Ignite. His attacks were suppressed, and the injury on his chest was getting worse and worse. Xiahou Shuya's eyes were bloodshot as he burned the power of his bloodline at all costs to sustain the consumption of the berserk skill. Ancient Profound Ice Freeze. At the crucial moment, Yi Chunfeng suddenly released the power of the Ancient Profound Ice, freezing Xiahou Shuya's legs and interrupting his attack rhythm. Then, Yi Chunfeng wielded the Titanic Fault Celestial Sword and unleashed a force of 350,000 Jin, knocking away Xiahou Shuya's spear. His left hand aimed at Xiahou Shuya's chest and struck out with the collapsing cloud palm. Boom! The collapsing cloud palm struck Xiahou Shuya's chest with a force of 350,000 Jin. The sound of bones breaking rang out as his entire chest caved in. A large amount of blood spurted out from his mouth. He's injured. Xiahou Shuya was injured by Yi Qinfeng. This pinnacle battle is basically over. That Xiahou Shuya is probably powerless to reverse the situation. If he hadn't met Yi Qinfeng, that Xiahou Shuya would have been one of the most famous geniuses in the Slaughter City in the past decade. Unfortunately, he met Yi Qinfeng, who is even more monstrous than him. Seeing Xiahou Shuya's chest caved in and blood spurting out from his mouth, the spectators cried out in alarm. Many people felt pity for him. Elder Tan, can you tell their origins? On the main spectator stand of the Slaughter City, Elder Tan sat with a tall middle-aged man wearing a black robe with cloud patterns. There was a clear scar at the corner of his eye, and his body emitted a fierce, killing intent. This middle-aged man was the same as Elder Tan, an elder of the Slaughter City. However, he came from the inner city, so his strength and authority were much higher than Elder Tan's. Xiahou Shuya should be from the 6th rank House Xiahou of the Xingluo continent. However, I can't figure out Yi Qinfeng's background. What he just used seems to be the 4 styles of slaughter from Xingluo Sky City. Perhaps he's from the 8th rank house, Xingluo Sky City. The knowledgeable Elder Tan recognized Yi Qinfeng's 4 styles of slaughter and guessed. Xingluo Sky City. The middle-aged man frowned slightly and said, "Didn't the geniuses of Xingluo Sky City not come to my Slaughter City? His identity is just my own guess. Perhaps he had other opportunities," Elder Tan said thoughtfully. He was becoming more and more curious about Yi Qinfeng's identity. "Xiahou Shuya, your strength isn't that great either. If you don't have any other trump cards, then this match is over." Yi Qinfeng, who had the absolute advantage, revealed a trace of a proud smile as he looked at the pale-faced Xiahou Shuya, who was vomiting blood. "Yi Qinfeng, don't be complacent. I won't admit defeat until the very last moment." Xiahou Shuya took a deep breath and said with an ugly expression. He didn't think that Yi Qinfeng would be so difficult to deal with. He had activated his sanguine ape bloodline and used the berserk skill, but he was still injured. "What? You still don't want to accept your fate? Since that's the case, I'll beat you until you accept your fate." As he spoke, Yi Qinfeng held the gigantic fault heavenly sword in his hand and continued to attack Yi Futian like a tidal wave. He kept attacking Yi Futian and worsened his injuries. Slowly, the sanguine ape bloodline in Xiahou Shuya's body began to fade as his injuries worsened. The berserk skill that increased his attack power also slowly disappeared. This made his heart turn cold. "No, I won't lose. I'm destined to reach the peak of the martial Tao. I won't fail here, and I definitely won't lose to him." Xiahou Shuya clenched his teeth and kept shouting in his heart. His face revealed a deranged expression. Sanguine ape bloodline, burn it all! When Xiahou Shuya was forced back by Yi Qinfeng's sword, he couldn't hold on any longer. He let out a crazy roar and burned his sanguine ape bloodline to the greatest extent in a final struggle. Man and spear as one, blood stains the blue sky. His sanguine ape bloodline was almost completely burned, and Xiahou Shuya reached the peak of his strength. 70% of his spear aura was completely unleashed. His entire body fused with the blood-red spear, dyeing the space as he stabbed at Yi Qinfeng. Mysterious ancient cold ice, green spiritual fire, purple spiritual thunder, fuse. Xiahou Shuya's man and weapon as one pierced out. Yi Qinfeng didn't use the 7 swords of judgment. Instead, he controlled the 3 spiritual items to surge out of his body and quickly fuse them. Wrath of divine punishment. Yi Qinfeng roared, and the destructive power formed by the fusion of the 3 spiritual items swept out. It was like the power of divine punishment, distorting a large area of space and creating endless ripples. It instantly swallowed Xiahou Shuya, who was man and weapon as one. "It's that move again. This power is too terrifying." When the spectators saw Yi Qinfeng use Wrath of Divine Punishment, they were stunned once again, and their souls trembled. Boom! It was as if divine thunder had exploded between heaven and earth. Endless torrents of energy annihilated the entire battle arena. The terrifying power directly collapsed the extremely sturdy battle arena, causing the slaughter arena to shake. Fortunately, Elder Tan and the others were prepared. They activated the energy barrier in time, blocking the destructive impact from the collision of the two great energies and preventing innocent casualties in the spectators' stands. Even so, the activated energy barrier still trembled violently from the impact of the tyrannical energy, and spiderweb-like cracks appeared on its surface. Just as everyone's minds were shaken and they looked in horror at the destructive storm, a mangled figure fell out of the destructive storm. He crashed heavily into the energy barrier and fell to the ground. This miserable figure was Xiahou. Xiahou, he actually didn't die. What tenacious vitality! One is bound to have good fortune after surviving a great disaster. Although Xiahou has been defeated, if he can pull himself together, he might become even more terrifying. Xiahou, you've lost. Yi Chunfeng, who was covered in blood and whose aura was chaotic, walked out of the destructive storm. He looked arrogantly at Xiahou, who was unable to accept the fact that he had lost, and spoke in a low voice. Yi Chunfeng had also suffered heavy injuries after using Wrath of Divine Punishment to defeat Xiahou. His soul power was also almost completely depleted. However, in the process of defeating Xiahou, he had hidden his beast soul form and the 7 swords of judgment. In the chaotic slaughter city, it was extremely dangerous to reveal all of one's trump cards. Only by not letting others see through one's true strength would one be able to live longer. Xiahou glared at Yi Chunfeng with his blood-red eyes and said unwillingly, "Yi Chunfeng, don't be too happy. I'll definitely kill you in 3 years at most and avenge my humiliation. Do you think I'll give you the chance to take revenge?" Yi Chunfeng's lips curled up slightly as he spoke with a murderous intent. He definitely wouldn't allow a potential threat to continue growing. He'd already sentenced Xiahou, who'd wanted to kill him, to death. I'm from House Xiahou of the Xingluo continent. There are also peerless kings from my house in the inner city. If you dare kill me, I guarantee that my house won't let you off. Xiahou snorted coldly and spoke without fear. He didn't believe that Yi Chunfeng would dare kill him. Is that so? Then I'll be waiting. As he spoke, a sharp sword light flashed in front of Xiahou's eyes. Under his terrified gaze, his head was chopped off. Large amounts of blood sprayed onto the ground like a fountain. The top genius of House Xiahou, had fallen. Mobile reading site, book address. To facilitate your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record your reading history. You'll be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blogs, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 274. The second level of the 8 slaughtering Azura method. What a dense aura of death. More than 10,000 people must have died at Xiahou's hands. Otherwise, he wouldn't have accumulated such a terrifying aura of death in his body. A powerful aura of death emanated from Xiahou's corpse. When Yi Chunfeng absorbed this terrifying aura of death into his body, the 8 slaughtering Azura method began to circulate involuntarily, quickly forming a second halo of slaughter. Yi Chunfeng felt that he would be able to form a second halo of slaughter in 3 days at the latest, doubling his attack power. Elder Tan, I think it's very likely that Yi Chunfeng came from Xingluo Sky City. The middle-aged man beside Elder Tan spoke in a low voice, his expression grave when he saw that Yi Chunfeng had ignored the threat of House Xiahou behind Xiahou and killed Xiahou like the autumn wind sweeping away fallen leaves. Although Slaughter City was very strong and only a hair's breadth away from a 7th-rank sacred land, the difference between them and an 8th-rank sacred land, Xingluo Sky City, was like heaven and earth. It could be said that if the Starnet Sky City wanted to annihilate the City of Slaughter, the City of Slaughter would be annihilated overnight. There aren't many factions on the Xingluo continent that can ignore House Xiao. Perhaps he really did come from Xingluo Sky City. Elder Tan took a deep breath and said, "We must report this matter to the king as soon as possible and take precautions. Offending Xingluo Sky City is no small matter. I've already won 100 victories. Can you give me 100 victories badge?" Just as Elder Tan and Elder Tan were conversing with each other, Yi Chunfeng, who was as straight as a steel spear and exuding a fierce aura, took Xiahou Xue's belongings, an exquisite universe ring, and spoke in a deep voice. "Yi Chunfeng, here's your 100 victories badge, a stone of slaughter, and 1,200 slaughter points." Elder Tan personally handed over a hexagonal dark gold badge with the word 100 engraved on it, an egg-sized slaughter stone, and 1,200 slaughter points to Yi Chunfeng. "Elder, may I know what special uses this 100 victories emblem has?" Yi Chunfeng asked as he took the ice-cold 100 victories emblem. Elder Tan looked deeply at Yi Chunfeng as he said, "With the 100 victories emblem, apart from obtaining an extra 800 slaughter points, you will also be able to enjoy a 10% discount when making transactions in the inner-city shops." "Thank you." After Yi Chunfeng expressed his gratitude, he pinned the 100 victories badge on his clothes. Together with the Moon Raiment, who had obtained 37 consecutive victories, they left the killing field that was filled with the thick smell of blood. Congratulations to young Master Yi for obtaining the 100 victories emblem. As soon as Yi Chunfeng and Yu Nikhang left the killing field, the 10,000 Kills gang leader and the others who had been waiting outside for a long time immediately went up to greet them. The 10,000 Kills gang leader had a charming smile on his face as he congratulated Yi Chunfeng, not putting on the airs of a gang leader at all. "Have you gathered the 50,000 slaughter points?" Yi Chunfeng asked coldly as he looked at the groveling 10,000 Kills sect leader. I've gathered it," the terrified 10,000 Kills gang leader hurriedly said. He gave the 50,000 slaughter points and 2 bottles of milky jade to Yi Chunfeng, begging for his forgiveness. "All right, the grudges between us are written off. You can all scram now." After he finished speaking, Yi Chunfeng no longer paid any attention to the 10,000 Kills gang leader and the others. He left with Yu Nikhang and returned to the green bamboo residence. "Nikhang, these 2 bottles of milky jade are for you. Once you break through to the 5th grade Mystic Beast Ancestor realm, we'll go slaughter in the inner city." Yi Chunfeng gave the 2 precious bottles of milky jade to Yu Nikhang. I'll be able to break through in 3 days at the latest." After fighting in the killing field for several days, Yu Nikhang, who had won 37 matches in a row, was already on the verge of breaking through. With these 2 bottles of milky jade, she was confident that she could break through to the 5th grade Mystic Beast Ancestor realm within 3 days. While Yu Nikhang was using the milky jade to cultivate, Yi Chunfeng also entered a state of cultivation. He repeatedly revolved the 8 Sha Azura skill, refining the death energy in his body and condensing the second killing halo. At the same time, Elder Tan and Elder Su appeared in an ancient castle-shaped black castle in the Killing Field inner city. They were greeting the master of Killing Field, the king of killing. "His Majesty is in closed-door cultivation. Why are you looking for him?" A thin elder in a long black robe asked coldly. His face was as sharp as a knife, and there was a large amount of killing energy gathered around him. "Reporting to Grand Elder, a genius disciple from Xingluo Sky City has appeared in Killing Field," Elder Tan reported. "Are you sure? According to our agreement with Xingluo Sky City, they shouldn't have sent their disciples to train in Killing Field." The Grand Elder, whose strength and authority were second only to the King of Killing in Killing Field, furrowed his brows and asked in a low voice. "We're not very sure, but the sole skill that person used seemed to be Xingluo Sky City's 4 killing styles," Elder Tan reported truthfully. Elder Tan reported honestly. He also told Elder Tan about how Yi Chunfeng killed Xiaoxue and obtained 100 victories. 4 killing styles, spiritual beast, 2-headed dragon. After listening to Elder Tan's recount, the King of Killing's brows furrowed even more. He paced back and forth in the hall, and the atmosphere was so oppressive that it was difficult to breathe. After pondering for a moment, the first elder ordered, "All right, I understand. All of you can go back." "Yes, Grand Elder." Elder Tan and Elder Su obeyed and left quickly with their heads lowered. "Shadow, what do you think about this matter?" Just as Elder Tan and Elder Su left, the Grand Elder looked at a dark corner of the hall and asked, "It's hard to say. I need to investigate that person's identity personally before I can make a conclusion." A man in a long black robe that covered his entire body and revealed only a pair of dark eyes appeared in front of the Grand Elder like a ghost. He spoke in a cold voice. Shadow's identity in Killing Field was very special. Other than the King of Killing, there were only a few people in Killing Field. The others didn't know of his existence. The Grand Elder nodded and said, "Yes, I'll leave the investigation to you." He was still very confident in Shadow's ability. "I hope that person isn't a genius disciple from Xingluo Sky City. Otherwise, he might ruin the king's plan. However, if he isn't a genius disciple from Xingluo Sky City, we might be able to obtain something unexpected from him." The Grand Elder's eyes flickered with an ominous glint as he said viciously. Time passed day by day. After nearly 3 days of cultivation, Yi Chunfeng finally refined all the death aura in his body and condensed the second killing halo. As expected, my attack power has increased by 2 times. When Yi Chunfeng tried to fuse the killing power contained in the 2 killing halos, he felt that his attack power had increased by 2 times. If he encountered a genius like Xiaoxue again, he would be able to kill him even without using the wrath of divine punishment. I wonder what kind of items Xiaoxue left behind? Yi Chunfeng took out one of Xiaoxue's belongings, a precious universe ring. He forcefully tore open the remnant within the ring and released his soul force into it. 700 slaughter points, a top-grade Earth artifact, and more than 30 Earth-level soul pellets, and 1,000 high-grade soul crystals. At the end of the inspection, Yi Chunfeng unexpectedly obtained 1,000 high-grade soul crystals from Xiaoxue's items. After storing Xiaoxue's items into his own universe ring, Yi Chunfeng slowly circulated the soul-devouring art. Not long after, a powerful aura spread out from the inner room. After refining 1.5 bottles of jade essence, Yunichang's strength finally increased by another step. She broke through the bottleneck and broke through to level 5 Mystic Beast Ancestor. It's time to slaughter in the inner city. Both he and Yu Nikhang had increased their strength, so the two of them did not waste any time in the outer city. The next morning, the two of them left the Green Bamboo residence. With their respective identity tokens, they successfully entered the inner city, where the killing aura was even denser and more dangerous. Mobile reading website, book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the save button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 275. The two of them walked into the massacre inner city, which was filled with an even more powerful aura of slaughter. There were very few trees, and many ancient buildings gave off a sense of vicissitude. Yi Chunfeng's sharp senses suddenly detected a faintly discernible soul power sweeping over his body. "What's wrong, Chingfeng?" Yu Nikhang, wearing a bright red dress and light makeup, exuded an enchanting charm. She noticed that Yi Chunfeng's complexion was a bit off and softly asked, "It's nothing. Let's first rent a cultivation room." Yi Chunfeng shook his head. He did not tell her that someone was secretly spying on them. The slaughter inner city was different from the outer city. There were many cultivation rooms in the inner city that could increase one's cultivation speed. As long as one had slaughter points, they could rent them. Yu Nikhang nodded. She intimately hugged Yi Qinfeng's arm and walked towards the inner city that gave off an extremely oppressive feeling. Just as Yi Qinfeng and Yu Nikhang left, a black-robed figure that seemed to blend in with the darkness walked out. After glancing at their departing backs, his body flickered and he disappeared. As expected of the slaughter inner city, there are truly many experts in the city. After entering the slaughter inner city, Yi Qinfeng discovered that the wide streets were filled with experts with extraordinary talent. Among them, there were even two that were stronger than Xiaoshui. They were suspected to be on the same level as the evil path expert. As for the sexy and enchanting Yu Nikhang, she easily stole the gazes of all the males on the street. If it weren't for the fact that the slaughter inner city strictly forbade killing on the streets, these people with lofty ambitions might have immediately attacked and snatched Yu Nikhang away. Feeling the burning gazes all around her, Yu Nikhang did not feel the slightest bit uncomfortable. Like a proud princess, she hugged Yi Qinfeng's arm and walked forward. Yi Qinfeng and Yu Nikhang did not walk for long before they saw a pitch-black inn in the distance. It occupied an extremely large area, and martial artists were constantly entering and exiting it. They walked in. "Hello, would you like to rent a cultivation room?" Yi Qinfeng and Shi Mu had just entered the cultivation inn when a tall, fair-skinned young woman walked out. She wore a white chong sam with lotus roots, and had an exquisite figure. Her every frown and smile was filled with a myriad of charm. She asked in a pleasant voice. When she saw the victory emblem on Yi Qinfeng's clothes, her charming face immediately revealed a look of awe. A person who could obtain the 100 Victories emblem in the massacre outer city was no small matter. He was definitely not someone she could offend. "We want to rent an advanced cultivation room. Do you have one?" Yi Qinfeng asked softly. "The two of you came at the right time. There's a high-grade training room available today." The Chong Sam woman revealed a charming smile. She said in a soft voice, "The high-grade training room costs 100 slaughter points per day. Sir has the 100 victory badge, so he can enjoy a 10% discount. I wonder how long you two would like to rent it." "Let's rent it for a month first." Yi Qinfeng, who had nearly 70,000 slaughter points, happily paid 2,700 slaughter points. "Sir, miss, please follow me." The Chong Sam woman's eyes brightened as she saw Yi Qinfeng being so generous. If it weren't for Yu Nikhang being so beautiful that she couldn't help but sigh at her own inferiority, she would have already thrown herself into her arms. The Chong Sam woman brought Yi Qinfeng and Shi Mu to an independent high-grade training room and softly said, "Sir, miss, I won't disturb your rest. If there is anything else you need, you can look for me at any time." After she finished speaking, the Chong Sam woman gave Yi Qinfeng a flirtatious wink. Then, she swayed her sexy waist and slowly left. What a rich, spiritual energy, what a great pressure. Walking into the well-equipped high-grade training room, Yi Qinfeng was surprised to find that the spiritual energy here was so rich that it nearly materialized. Moreover, the pressure here was so great that it could stimulate one's body's potential and increase one's cultivation efficiency. This is truly worthy of being a high-grade training room that costs 100 slaughter points a day. If I cultivate here, I will definitely be able to achieve twice the results with half the effort. Yi Qinfeng was very satisfied with this high-grade training room. He was also filled with anticipation towards the other cultivation resources of Slaughter City. This was also why Slaughter City was so perilous and abnormally dangerous, yet it attracted all sorts of talented martial artists to come here. With such a rich supply of cultivation resources, Slaughter City was absolutely a paradise for cultivators. But the premise was that one had to be able to leave here alive. "Let's go, Nikhang. Let's go to the treasure pavilions of Slaughter City and see if there are any rare treasures we can exchange for," Yi Qinfeng suggested in a soft voice. He left the training room with Yu Nikhang. After asking around, they arrived at the largest treasure pavilion in Slaughter City, the Heavenly Treasure Pavilion. Heavenly Treasure Pavilion, what an imposing name! As Yi Chunfeng saw the 3 words written on the ancient wooden plaque, he immediately felt a grand and ancient aura wash over him. The history of the Heavenly Treasure Pavilion is probably over 10,000 years old. Yi Chunfeng muttered to himself. Just as Yi Chunfeng walked into the somewhat noisy Heavenly Treasure Pavilion, his sharp soul perception once again detected a vague soul scanning him. It's him again. Sensing that this vague soul was exactly the same as when he entered the city, Yi Chunfeng was basically certain that he was being followed. This person should be a master of Slaughter City. I have to be extra careful. Yi Chunfeng thought in his heart, secretly becoming vigilant. What would the 2 of you like to buy? I can recommend something to the 2 of you. At this time, a green-robed man walked up and respectfully asked, "Does your Heavenly Treasure Pavilion sell the 1,000-year blood peach or the blood soul grass?" Yi Chunfeng collected his thoughts and asked. He wanted to first gather the materials to refine the baptizing marrow pill. "I'm sorry, young master. The Heavenly Treasure Pavilion doesn't sell the 2 great natural treasures you mentioned." The green-robed man shook his head and said, "No." Yi Chunfeng revealed a disappointed expression. "The natural treasures that my Heavenly Treasure Pavilion sells are all in this album. The 2 of you can flip through it and see if there's anything you like." The green-robed man handed Yi Chunfeng an exquisite album and said, 7-star grass, sky blue flower, 1,000-year fire spirit mushroom. Yi Chunfeng didn't feel much interest when he looked at the spiritual objects of heaven and earth in the book. However, when he flipped to the end, his increasingly disappointed eyes lit up. A matured cloud horse. Looking at the album, there was a stalk shaped like a horse with a pair of fleshy wings on its back. Its entire body was snow-white, as if it was made of jade, and he immediately revealed a look of pleasant surprise. The cloud horse could be said to be a first-class natural treasure in the world. Legend had it that it had the miraculous effect of bringing the dead back to life. It was also a necessary ingredient to refine a heaven-level soul pill. It was very precious. Among the soul fragments of the God-Eater brain, there was a kind of 3-aperture heavenly pill that used the cloud horse as the main ingredient to refine. However, the price of the cloud horse was also frighteningly high. It required 60,000 slaughter points. Just as Yi Chunfeng decided to buy the cloud horse at all costs, 3 men in gorgeous clothes with a fierce aura walked in. Their eyes directly locked onto Yi Chunfeng and the green-robed man. Feeling that someone's aura had locked onto him, Yi Chunfeng frowned slightly and immediately turned his head. Looking at the gloomy faces of the 3 people slowly walking over, he felt suspicious. It seemed that the 3 people had come for him. Could it be because of him? Remember the URL. Sanwu Chinese Network. Chapter 276. Xiaohou Family's Fury. What a pretty girl. Kid, I'll give you 100 slaughter points. Give her to us. The middle-aged man, who was wearing a long robe woven with golden silk, looked at the moon raiment with a fervent gaze and said domineeringly, "Scram." Yi Chunfeng didn't expose the 3 of them. A powerful murderous aura emitted from his body as he shouted, "Motherf *Ker, you dare to scold me? Do you know who the 3 of us are?" The golden-robed man's face sank as he said angrily, "I'll count to 3. If you don't scram, don't blame me for being impolite." Yi Chunfeng warned with a gloomy face. If it wasn't for the Slaughter Inner City's prohibition against killing on the streets, the 3 of them would have been beheaded. What a big tone. Do you believe that I won't cripple you? The golden-robed man threatened with a gloomy face. 1. 2. Kid, don't think that you can be fearless just because the Slaughter Inner City prohibits private fights. Let me tell you, the Slaughter Inner City's rules are useless against my Wu family. We can crush you as easily as crushing an ant. Seeing that Yi Chunfeng didn't give him any face, the golden-robed man's heart immediately burned with rage. he angrily warned. The Wu family was one of the 3 major families in the Slaughter Inner City. They relied on the Slaughter King. No matter if it was strength or authority, the 10,000 killer gang couldn't compare to them. Just as he was about to teach Yi Chunfeng a lesson, Yi Chunfeng condensed 2 killing halos on the count of 3. He didn't restrain his killing intent at all as he released blood and bones, enveloping the 3 of them. At this moment, Yi Chunfeng was like a lone wolf that had been hiding for a long time. He bared his fangs and his killing intent was awe-inspiring. The killing intent gushing out from his body made people feel as if their liver and guts were about to explode. Gu. Feeling Yi Chunfeng's killing intent, the golden-robed man and the other 2 were so scared that their bodies trembled. Their words were stuck in their throats and they couldn't shout. Just as the 3 of them were intimidated by Yi Chunfeng's killing intent, 3 silver needles brimming with soul power appeared on Yi Chunfeng's fingertips. In a flash, they broke through their defenses and pierced into their lower abdomens. In the next moment, the 3 of them felt a sharp pain in their lower abdomens. The soul power contained within the silver needles had stimulated their bladder meridians. An unbearable urge to urinate hit them, causing their bodies to tremble. Endless streams of yellow water instantly soaked through their pants and flowed down their trousers to the ground. An unpleasant smell of urine filled the air. Yu Nikheng covered her delicate nose and looked at them as if she was looking at a monster. She screamed, "Ah, you guys peed in your pants in public? Is there something wrong with your bodies? It's so smelly." Yu Nichang's scream immediately attracted the attention of everyone in the Heavenly Treasure Pavilion. Many pairs of astonished gazes shot over. *CK, I really pissed my pants on the street. The 3 of them seemed to be from the Wu clan. The Wu clan's face has been completely lost by the 3 of them. Hearing the waves of ridicule from all around, the 3 of them were so embarrassed that they wanted to dig a hole and hide in it. "You're courting death." The 3 of them couldn't hold back the anger in their hearts after being plotted against. With a roar, they pounced toward Yi Chunfeng like 3 enraged tigers. Extreme purple spiritual lightning break. When the 3 of them got close to Yi Chunfeng, the extremely destructive extreme purple spiritual lightning spewed out of Yi Chunfeng's body. It turned into boundless lightning and bombarded the 3 of them at close range. Boom, boom, boom. Deafening sounds of thunder rang out as the 3 of them from the Wu clan were directly destroyed by the extreme purple spiritual lightning. The terrifying remaining power of the lightning ruthlessly bombarded the 3 of them, sending them flying. They landed heavily on the ground, and large amounts of blood flowed out from their bodies. "Stop, all of you, stop!" At this moment, an angry roar rang out as a black-robed elder with a vigorous aura appeared in the hall of the Celestial Treasure Pavilion. Absolute King. The appearance of the black-robed elder caused Yi Chunfeng's eyebrows to twitch slightly. From the aura that the elder emitted, he was definitely an absolute king. "Don't you know that private fights are prohibited in the inner city? Why did you injure people in the Celestial Treasure Pavilion?" The black-robed elder stared coldly at Yi Chunfeng and loudly questioned him. The 3 of them attacked first. "I was just defending myself. If Senior doesn't believe me, you can ask the others." Yi Chunfeng didn't fear the black-robed elder's ferocious gaze as he spoke neither arrogantly nor humbly. No, it's not like that. He plotted against us first, and we attacked out of anger." The 3 of them covered their injured bodies as they scrambled up from the ground and defended themselves loudly. "No matter what the reason is, you've violated the Massacre Inner City's rules. Yes, the 100 Victories badge." Just as the black-robed elder was about to teach them a lesson, he noticed the 100 Victories badge hanging on Yi Chunfeng's left shoulder. His expression changed slightly. "You just entered the Massacre Inner City?" the black-robed elder asked in a low voice. "Yes." Yi Chunfeng nodded. "Forget it. Since you just entered the city, I'll let this go. However, if this happens again, no one will be able to save you." After confirming Yi Chunfeng's identity, the black-robed elder immediately recalled the first elder's warning and his ferocious aura gradually dissipated. With that, the black-robed elder turned around and left without hesitation. Seeing the black-robed elder's sudden change in attitude, everyone present was dumbfounded. The three of them who had suffered a great loss and were heavily injured didn't dare to provoke him again. They scrambled away. Just as the three of them left the Celestial Treasure Pavilion in a sorry state and were on their way back to the Wu family, an extremely sharp black light flashed in front of their eyes and chopped off their heads. Large amounts of blood sprayed out from their corpses like fountains, dyeing the ground red. Because the distance was too far, Yi Chunfeng, who had been staying in the Celestial Treasure Pavilion, didn't know that the three of them had died. "Now, can I buy this cloud horse?" Yi Chunfeng asked in a low voice. "Of course you can. Sir has the 100 Victories badge, so you can enjoy a 10% discount. We will sell the cloud horse to Sir for 54,000 slaughter points." The blue-clothed young man was also a little confused by the black-robed elder's sudden change in attitude. However, he was even more polite to Yi Chunfeng. He took the initiative to give Yi Chunfeng a discount and sold the precious cloud horse to him. After buying the cloud horse, Yi Chunfeng spent 13,000 slaughter points to buy a large amount of materials for refining offensive runes, as well as a top-grade earth-level soul pill for Yu Nikhang to consolidate her cultivation. Sigh, as expected, I don't have enough slaughter points. Although Yi Chunfeng had a good harvest in the Celestial Treasure Pavilion, he only had 900 slaughter points left. In desperation, he took out nearly 100 mid-rank Earth-level weapons, 10 high-rank Earth-level weapons, and 3 demon crystal bones to sell, earning a total of 24,000 slaughter points. "Let's go, Nikhang. Let's go back." After the transaction, Yi Chunfeng didn't stay for long. He left the Celestial Treasure Pavilion with Yu Nikhang and returned to the Advanced Cultivation Room to cultivate in seclusion. While Yi Chunfeng was cultivating in the Advanced Cultivation Room, the Grand Elder of Slaughter City ordered someone to inform the Xiahou experts in the inner city of the news of Xiahou Shui's death. He wanted to use them to probe Yi Chunfeng's true background. Xiahou Shui was one of the most outstanding geniuses of House Xiahou's younger generation. After learning of his death, the experts of House Xiahou were enraged. They burned precious transmission glyphs to send the news back to House Xiahou while searching for Yi Chunfeng's whereabouts in Slaughter City. They wanted to kill Yi Chunfeng and avenge Xiahou Shui, one of House Xiahou's top geniuses. Mobile reading site, book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record your reading history. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 277. Tower of Slaughter, Green Spirit Fire, Refine. In order to further increase its attacking power, Yi Chunfeng took out 6 slaughter stones filled with slaughter power and released the green spirit fire to refine them into the gigantic Fault Celestial Sword, increasing its quality. He then added 81 offensive runes into the gigantic Fault Celestial Sword, increasing its attacking power. Time flew by and 10 days had passed. Under the continuous refining of the green spirit fire, all 6 slaughter stones had been refined into the gigantic Fault Celestial Sword. After fusing with the 6 slaughter stones, the gigantic Fault Celestial Sword had become even heavier, reaching 20,000 pounds. The power it contained was even more terrifying, almost reaching the level of a mid-grade heaven item. Offensive runes fuse. The gigantic Fault Celestial Sword's quality had been greatly increased. Yi Chunfeng immediately took out the rune materials he had exchanged from the Celestial Treasure Pavilion and refined them into offensive runes, fusing them into the gigantic Fault Celestial Sword to further increase its attacking power. While Yi Chunfeng was refining the gigantic Fault Celestial Sword, Yu Nikhang had consumed the remaining half-bottle of jade milk and the extreme-grade earth-level soul pellet that Yi Chunfeng had exchanged for her. She had stabilized her level 5 Mystic Beast Grandmaster cultivation and started to cultivate her family's inherited soul art, sky dancing demonic art. What a terrifying demonic chi! Could Nichang's family be demonic cultivators? Looking at Yu Nikhang, who was covered in a large amount of black demonic chi, Yi Chunfeng started to guess Yu Nichang's identity. However, regardless of whether Yu Nikhang was a demonic cultivator or a Taoist cultivator, it would not affect their relationship. After another 10 days, Yi Chunfeng had successfully refined 81 offensive runes into the gigantic Fault Celestial Sword, greatly increasing its attacking power. Mid-grade Heaven item, the gigantic Fault Celestial Sword, has finally reached the level of a mid-grade Heaven item. Feeling the changes in the gigantic Fault Celestial Sword, Yi Chunfeng revealed a faint smile. With the upgrade of the gigantic Fault Celestial Sword, his attacking power had been greatly increased as well. He now had the ability to defeat ordinary Supreme Kings. Qingfeng, do you have something to ask me? Yu Nikhang, who had completely mastered the Heavenly Demon Dance technique and restrained her devil chi, asked when she saw that Yi Chunfeng had finished refining the Titanic Fault Heavenly Sword. Everyone has their own secret. I'm not that curious. Yi Chunfeng looked at Yu Nichang's charming face and gently shook his head. He didn't ask her about her secret. Qingfeng, when the day comes that I have to leave you, I will tell you my identity. Yu Nikhang bit her alluring red lips and stared at Yi Chunfeng with burning eyes. She then said in a serious tone, "Then, when you become an immortal emperor, come and find me." "All right." Yi Chunfeng looked at Yu Nichang's serious face and nodded. From her words, he felt that her identity was not simple. Hearing Yi Chunfeng's resolute reply, Yu Nikhang revealed a charming smile. "Let's go to the Slaughter Pagoda to gain experience." After saying that, the two left the high-grade training room and headed to the Slaughter Pagoda. It occupied a large area and was several hundred meters tall. The top of the pagoda reached the clouds. It was like a giant blade that could split the heavens and earth apart. The Slaughter Pagoda had a total of 10 levels. According to the rules of the Slaughter Pagoda, if one won 10 battles in a row, they could go up 1 level. Once they reached the 5th level, they would obtain the qualifications to enter the 9-Dragon Jade Annulus. The rules of the Slaughter Pagoda were different from the Slaughter Pagoda. In the Slaughter Pagoda, one could challenge anyone they wanted. As long as they won, they would obtain slaughter points as a reward. They could also exchange for cultivation resources that were not available in the Slaughter Pagoda. During the challenge, if no one dared to challenge for 3 consecutive days, they could directly obtain all the slaughter points on that level and enter the next level. Grand Elder Yi Chunfeng and Yu Nikhang have come out of seclusion. They're heading to the Slaughter Pagoda. Yi Chunfeng and Yu Nikhang were immediately discovered when they were heading to the Slaughter Pagoda. The Grand Elder of the Slaughter Pagoda was immediately informed. "Tell House Wu about this. Have them stop Yi Chunfeng in the Slaughter Pagoda." The Grand Elder's eyes flashed sharply as he ordered in a low voice. "Shue Kuluo, I don't think those useless fools from House Wu will be able to figure out his true identity." After the messenger left, a shadow that had merged with the night walked out from a dark corner and called out the Grand Elder's name without a trace of emotion. House Wu may be a little stupid, but they're still useful. Even if they can't figure out Yi Chunfeng's true identity, there's still House Xiaohou, isn't there? Shue Kuluo revealed a cold smile. "Let's go. We'll personally go to the Slaughter Pagoda and watch Yi Chunfeng's challenge. Perhaps we'll gain something unexpected," Shue Kuluo suggested. The shadow nodded and left the Slaughter Pagoda with Shue Kuluo. "Halt. Enter the Slaughter Pagoda. 100 slaughter points per person." When Yi Chunfeng and Yu Nikhang reached the entrance of the Slaughter Pagoda, Yu Nikhang was stopped by the guards of the Slaughter Pagoda. "The price to enter the Slaughter Pagoda is so high," Yi Chunfeng muttered to himself. Although 100 slaughter points was nothing to Yi Chunfeng, if he entered the Slaughter Pagoda every day, he would have to pay 3,000 slaughter points per month. 3,000 slaughter points could be exchanged for 3 upper-rank earth weapons in the inner city. Yi Chunfeng paid 100 slaughter points for Yu Nikhang and entered the slaughter pagoda. He found that the slaughter pagoda was completely different from what he had imagined. There were shops, lofts, restaurants, and even many advanced cultivation rooms. However, the price of the cultivation rooms in the slaughter pagoda was much higher than outside. There were not many people who could afford to rent a cultivation room in the slaughter pagoda. It could be said that the slaughter pagoda was a mini slaughter city. Moreover, the cultivation resources here were even more plentiful than in Slaughter City. As long as one had enough slaughter points, they could live here. When Yi Chunfeng and Yu Nikhang arrived at the ring-shaped arena in the center of the first floor of the slaughter pagoda, they immediately felt the restless aura of madness in the arena. The roars of men mixed with the screams of women ignited the atmosphere of the arena to the extreme. Trash, a bunch of trash. Who else dares to come up? A burly, muscular, and bald level 5 mystic beast ancestor with black fire tattoos on his face chopped down his opponent with an axe. He waved his arms and shouted arrogantly. Strong, too strong. Yen Hong's strength has probably reached level 6 mystic beast ancestor. That's right. This Yen Hong has already won 9 times in a row. Moreover, he killed all his opponents with an overwhelming advantage. With his strength, he should be able to reach the 3rd floor of the slaughter pagoda. Below the huge arena, many people were shocked by Yen Hong's strength after witnessing his bloody battle. No one dared to challenge him. Chingfeng, wait for me below. I'm going to challenge that blockhead. Yu Nikhang looked at the arrogant bald man. Her beautiful eyes lit up with an intense battle intent. Nikhang, be careful. That person is very strong. Yi Chunfeng solemnly reminded her. Don't worry, Chingfeng. I only need 3 moves to defeat him. Yi Chunfeng smiled and confidently said. He lightly tapped the ground with the tip of his foot. His entire body was like a flaming butterfly, drawing a fiery red shadow in the air and landing on the spacious arena. What a beautiful beauty! The bald man saw Moon Raiment Shang jump in front of him. She was wearing a fiery red dress. Her figure was hot and charming. He was startled. His bell-sized eyes immediately shot out a burning color. Little beauty, you've got guts. You actually dare to challenge me. However, if you agree to be my woman, I can consider letting you win. The bald man licked his scarlet lips and looked at Yu Nikhang with some excitement. He was completely captivated by her beauty. Ha ha ha, let's talk about it after you defeat me. Yu Nikhang let out a series of crisp laughter. She quickly circulated the heavenly demon dance, and waves of demonic aura were emitted from her body. Yes, you're a demonic cultivator. Looking at Yu Nikhang, who was emitting demonic aura, the bald man revealed a trace of seriousness. An unparalleled power erupted from his strong body. He held a heavy axe and chopped at Yu Nikhang. Demon-slaying finger! Yu Nichang's pupils shrank. The demonic aura surging in her body quickly condensed under the urging of the heavenly demon dance. She pointed her finger and a black light shot out like a shooting star, dyeing the air and changing its color. Buzz! When the demon-slaying finger touched the heavy axe of the bald man, it immediately released a huge vibration force. Not only did it dissolve the power of the axe, but it also shook the bald man's arm numb. A large amount of blood flowed out from the web between his thumb and forefinger. Then, the second demon-slaying finger flew out and pointed at the heavy axe in the bald man's hand. The terrifying light of the finger forced the bald man to retreat step by step. His blood and chi were in turmoil, and a wisp of blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. It's over. When Yu Nikhang pointed her finger for the 3rd time, the bald man's whole body shook violently. He lost control of his body and was powerless to resist. He could only watch as the demon-slaying finger pierced through his head. His body fell into a pool of blood and remained motionless. Mobile reading site, book address, For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support.